Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Michael,
Abnoy.
and we are the Knights of Entertainment, a podcast covering your favorite and unknown movies, games, comic books, anime, and more weekly. We appreciate you being here and hope you enjoy the show. Let's go ahead and get started.
All right, so for the next few, however long it takes, we're going to be covering the old classic YuYu Hakusho that I saw when I was a kid, and I remember absolutely nothing about it except for the spirit gun. That's literally all I remember.
That's all most people
I do remember the fact that they had a tournament they had to go to, and I saw that tournament like replay like 77 times on Cartoon Network. The same with like the Goku scene where he fights Frieza.
Yeah.
And it never got past that. And it would just recycle back to the first episode and go all the way through again.
Yeah.
But all I remember from Yu Yu Hakusho was that tournament scene. I never remember any of the original or first episodes.
Yeah.
So all these first ones are completely new to me in my head, and unless I've seen them and I blocked them out. So we'll be discovering Yu Yu Hakusho together instead of me giving you a whole summary of the whole series. So we'll start with episode 1. And basically, it starts in school. You meet the main character, Yusuke Urameshi. And he's up on the roof just minding his own bit. He hates school, by the way. He hates almost like he hates everything in life. Like he's one of those school delinquents that just like
like a Joey Wheeler.
Yeah, like he just chose to go to school that day.
Yeah.
And he's so rebellious that you're supposed to wear a blue jumpsuit to school. He wears a green jumpsuit instead. And so on the roof, he gets his friend, his only friend in the whole freaking world, Kyoko, his childhood friend, sees him up there. They talk a little bit, and then he leaves, and you find out that like from all these other kids that Yusuke Urameshi is like highly feared by everybody. He's like apparently like the baddest 14-year-old in all of like the entire city. Like everyone's afraid of him. And so they're like Kyoko's friends are like, how do you talk to him? Isn't he evil? Like, I hear he has a gang of 2,000 men at his beck and call, and he's like, 2,000 men? He can't control anybody. Not Yusuke. So throughout the time in school, someone keeps calling on the intercom, Mr. Takanawa, and he's calling Yusuke Urameshi to report to the principal's office. Yusuke Urameshi, like throughout the entire school sequence, and he completely ignores him. So he's ready. He's bored with it. So he decides to leave, and he comes across these two kids that are like saying that they just stole a wallet, and the kid had said to the guy that they robbed that he was Yusuke Urameshi's cousin, so that's why he got the wallet. And Yusuke is like he's liking his name being used like that, so he's about to beat up this kid, and he gets stopped by this teacher, Mr. Iwo. What's his fucking name? I'm terrible with Japanese names. Mr. Iwamoto. And he thinks that Yusuke is stealing the wallet from the kids, but they had already stolen the wallet from someone else, and he was just going to beat him up for using his name in the situation. And so he just walks away. The funny that she just lets him go. And he's like, you stole a wallet. You're gonna go to the principal. I was like, hey, fuck you. He doesn't say that, but he's like, whatever, bro. You're an idiot. So he leaves. And Mr. Iwamoto, you can already tell, is a bad teacher. Like he doesn't want to talk about like anything like he doesn't want to be like a good role model.
You're right.
Like he just wants to drop it, or he wants to like punish delinquents as he sees it, and he doesn't care about the facts,
Right.
if they're true or false. So he's leaving. Mr. Takanawa tries to stop him. He's like the only good teacher in the whole school, because he sees something in Urameshi that he can be a great person someday if he just applied himself. So he's really trying to get him to stay in school, but Urameshi dips, and he just he tries to go home. And when he gets there, he sees his mom just not at work. She's laying in bed watching TV, and he gets frustrated with her. But she says he can't move out because he's only 14, so you're kind of stuck with me. He gets mad, so he leaves the house too. So he's just having a bad fucking day, and he ends up getting jumped by this guy Kuwabara, who's the second toughest guy in the school. Like, today's the day, Urameshi, and they get into a fight. But Urameshi's mad today, so he's like, you picked a real bad day to mess with me. He beats the hell out of him. Bear in mind, Kuwabara always hangs out with these three guys that are his like little, I guess, like minions.
Yeah.
They're his friends, but he's clearly the leader. They don't even help him fight. It's Kuwabara versus Urameshi. Urameshi beats the hell out of him. They his three buddies completely back off, like, oh, you win, Urameshi. Urameshi leaves, and they're like, Kuwabara, you need to stop doing this, all right? You are 0 and 156 against Urameshi. So he's beat his ass 156 times. He's like, I almost hit him this time. He's just laying there, just beat to hell.
With the Yamcha crater.
Basically, yeah. And so Urameshi is just walking the street aimlessly. He's just mad. He feels like, the school's the school's like breathing down his neck. His mom's, not acting like a mom. He just feels frustrated with school life and everything and his life in general. And so he sees this little kid who's playing with the soccer ball near the street, and he tells him, "You got to be careful that it's dangerous and all this and that." And he starts playing with the kid for a little bit, starts giving him doing like the little goofy faces and stuff, and the kid finds it funny, and then like, "All right, kid, go on." So the kid starts leaving, and Urameshi crosses the street, and he sees the kid kick the ball into the street, and he's like, "God damn, here we go." And the kid comes out, and this car is just zooming by, and Urameshi throws himself in front of the kid and gets hit by the car and ends up dying. And the ambulance comes, and Urameshi's spirit is over the whole scene watching it, and he realizes, well, damn, I'm a ghost. And him figuring that out makes the Grim Reaper, her name is Boten. She actually flies like on a broom, but like it's kind of like a paddle more than a broom because there's no like straw or anything on the end. It's just like a paddle. Looks like one of those oars. Yeah. She says she's the Grim Reaper, the pilot of the River Styx. So I guess that's why it's not a broom. It's more like an oar. But she sits on it like a witch.
Yeah.
And she looks like Bulma, with the blue hair.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was a big thing back then. I don't know why. I've never seen a person with blue hair, but they chose that as a Japanese staple to add blue hair in anime girls.
Mostly the older anime like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, huh? They're two different, like Dragon Ball and YuYu Hakusho both have blue-haired main character women.
Yeah.
And so she tells him he's dead, but he was not supposed to die that day. The entire spirit world was caught by surprise when Urameshi jumped in front of the kid to save his life. The kid was fine, by the way. He ended up just scraped up at the hospital. And they thought, like, we ran this scenario a million times, and a kid with your horrible personality, your terrible selfishness, and he's like, God, we would never jump in to save that kid. He's just tearing into to shreds. And it turns out, because it was so unexpected, he has no place in the afterlife. They have no place for him in the afterlife. So he's there like, well, damn, what do we do with him? So it turns out that the kid was never going to die that day. Had Urameshi not intervened, the kid would have actually come out with one less bruise than he did when he pushed him out of the way. So his save was a meaningless almost.
Right.
But they were so inspired, or so I guess I don't want to say inspired, but like in awe of him doing that, being the personality that he has, that they decided to give him a chance to get his life back. And Uramishi's like, nah, I'm good. Because the day he had, right, with all the people and he feels like he doesn't really belong and there anyway. So like, all right, just take me to hell wherever you're going to take me. I'm good. And she's like, why don't you go to your wake first and see how that goes? And then you can decide. And so Boten leaves. He's like, all right, but I already decided. So he goes to the wake and he sees everyone there. His whole classmates are there. And one real fucked up thing is the two teachers are there. There's one Mr. Kashi and Mr. Iwamoto, the one from earlier.
Yeah.
And they're laughing, saying like, this is the only good thing that Urumeshi's ever done for their school. Because it's Japan, so they have a really high honor system type thing.
Yeah.
So him saving that kid is like a huge honor to the school. Or bestowed to the school, but they're laughing at him, saying like he probably tried to steal that kid's lunch money and he fell into the street. Like they were like, I was like, that's fucked up. These two teachers just fucking ragging on him as he's dead. And Mr. Takanawa gets there and he's like, how dare you disrespect, all this and that, what happened? And so Urameshi gets there. He sees all his classmates. He sees the teacher laughing at him. He sees Mr. Takanawa. He sees Kyuko, his childhood friend, crying her eyes out. Goes into the building and into the house and sees his mom crying too. And he's like, well, shit. He sees Kuwabara. He actually drags himself. He tries to force himself into the wake, right? And it turns out that Kuwabara actually really liked Urameshi. Like he considered him like a rival type friend, right?
Yeah.
So who am I gonna fight now, man? And he starts crying too. You're supposed to be there for me. And I'm like, that was actually like, oh damn. I feel kind of bad for Kuwabara. Like his minions are trying to hold him back. Like Kuwabara, you can't be here. And they gotta drag him away. No. Like the way they drag him away, he's just bawling his eyes out. Like I got nothing left.
He's so used to getting those ass beats.
Like he's so like he considered that more like a rivalry than like enemies. So he's just devastated that Urumeshi's dead. And like Mr. Takanawa also like he does like I guess they to honor they kind of kneel in front of the coffin, and they have like a whole little setup, like a whole. I guess it's Buddhism, because I think I read that the guy that wrote it was like into Buddhism, so he kind of incorporated a lot of that into the series.
And Shinto probably too.
Yeah. And so Mr. Takanawa was like upset that he wasn't there to because this is when he talks about how he felt like he had a purpose in life, like he could have been somebody if he just applied himself. And so Urameshi just up there like in the sky, just because like, you can just sit like in the air because he's a ghost. So he's fucking crisscross applesauce up there, and he's just sitting there looking over the city. And Boten arrives, and he has this really poignant moment where he's like, "You ever realize something too late that was completely obvious to everyone else? And the obvious thing was that everyone cared about him. He just didn't see it till he died." And I was like, oh, I'm hooked. This show's got me. Because it felt so, relatable,
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like he didn't notice because he's always it was so in his own head that they really did care about him. He just didn't pay attention. And so he's like, all right, so what do I got to do to get my life back? And she's like, off to the spirit world. So we move on to episode 2. They go to the spirit world and they meet King Yama's son. King Yama's the king of the spirit world. They meet his son, Koenma, who's basically a baby. Like he's like a toddler with a fucking pacifier. But he's like 50 times older than Urameshi. I didn't do the math. 50 times 14 is probably like hundreds of years old. But like they age apparently super slow. So he's like, all right, Urameshi, because we have no place for you and all this and that, and because of what you did so noble, and we weren't expecting that from you, we're going to give you an ordeal. So he gives him this golden egg, and depending on what energy Urameshi pretty much like infuses into this egg, whether it be negative or positive, would be what creature is born from this egg. So he either, if it's negative energy, the creature that it hatches will be a monster that will eat him, and there you go, no life for you. But if it's positive energy, and he does positive things, the creature that comes out will lead him back to his body. So basically, he's got to do all these deeds. So he just has to like keep infusing it with energy, just good or bad. So he's like, all right, that's it, cool. And so he takes the egg, and they go back to Earth. And Boten's like, okay, so we do have a problem though. So it's going to take time for this energy to, for this egg to hatch. The only problem is your body is what's the word? Your body is about to get cremated because they think he's dead. So he's like, well, shit, if I don't have a body to come back to, where the hell am I going to go to?
Right.
So he's got to figure out a way to communicate to somebody to not cremate his body and wait for him to get this egg hatched so he can come back to his body. So he asked Boten what could he do, and she says that while people dream or sleep, that's when they're closer to the spirit world. So if you can talk to them while they're asleep, you might be able to convince them to not cremate you. So he goes home to talk to his mom. His mom, I forget her name is Atsuko, but she's fucking on a bender. She's drunk. She's sitting in front of the coffin and she's fucking screaming. So well, she's not gonna sleep anytime soon. So he's like, damn. So he goes to Kyoko. It's hard to say her name, Kyoko. So it's Keiko or Kei, but it's Kiko.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like Kyoko.
Kyoko.
You fucking it up. So Kiko, she's asleep, and he tried to tell her the same thing.
Right.
So he's like, hey, I got an ordeal to go through, but if I'm successful, I get my body back. Don't cremate me. And she's like, okay, bet. And so she goes to the house to talk to the mom. But Atsuka has to explain to her some weird dream she was having that she saw Yusuke in the spirit world fighting ogres until he became their king. And so Kiko is so she doesn't want to overstep, I guess. She didn't tell her anything about the body because she felt like Atsuka wasn't in the right headspace to be like, well, your son's still alive. So she didn't want to tell her that. So he's like, fuck. So he's not going to tell her, huh? So now he's got to figure out a different way to convince Kiko that, because she thinks the dream was just a dream when they start talking about the dream.
Yeah.
Because she actually talked to Urameshi in her dream. He told her, hey, don't let me die. But then his mom said that she saw him in her dream fighting ogres. So he's like, oh, they're probably just dreams. Like, he can't be in both our dreams at the same time.
Right.
So he's like, fuck, man, fuck. I'd have been losing my shit like, damn it.
Oh, because his mom's caught a fucking
Had the same,
bender.
yeah. I'm like, damn. So now he's got to figure out a different way to convince her that her dream was real and his mom's dream was a little just her dreaming.
Right.
So he's like, what else can I do? So it turns out that if a person has a high enough spirit energy, that a ghost can possess them. So he's like, all right, so who do we know with a high enough spirit energy that I can possess for what? Because she only had enough energy for, or Botan only had enough energy to give him an hour,
Right.
which is a long time, you would think, but no.
You would think, yes.
So he's like, all right, so who do we possess? And lo and behold, fucking Kuwabara has a high level spirit energy. He calls it the tickle when he can sense ghost. Yeah, he can sense ghosts talking to him and stuff.
Cool.
So he possesses Kuwabara and tries to go find Kiko. And for some fucking reason, Kuwabara goes out of his way to get into fights with every other gang in the entire city. The whole time he's looking for Kiko,
Yeah.
Yusuke Kuwabara, he gets jumped by every person that hates Kuwabara. He's like, I don't have time for this. There's a scene where he just gets jumped by like 30 guys. He's like, bring it on!
Just wasting his time.
Because he's got no choice because they won't leave him alone. He hits the guy so hard, knocks him out. The guy was like, God damn, I never knew anyone hit it that hardcore since that Urameshi guy. So apparently Yusuke Urameshi is the only one that can hit it. Like this guy, he hit this guy so hard, it reminded him of Yusuke Urameshi. But because he's in Kuwabara's body, he's giving Kuwabara a better name for himself. So no one's hit that hardcore since Yusuke Urameshi. I can't remember what the actual line the guy said, but he's like, I've never known anyone to hit that hard as hardcore as Yusuke Urameshi, because he fucking knocked the hell out of it. But it's Yusuke in Kuwabara's body. So he beats them all up. He finds Kiko, and he's trying to figure out a way to convince her that it's him in Kuwabara's body. And this is where we get to the Japanese stuff. And he's like, the only way I can do that, well, here we go. And he comes up behind her and just fucking grabs her tits. Look at them titties. And I'm like, oh, God, you ruined it. You had a beautiful first episode, and you made it weird. You just assaulted some random girl.
Yeah, but they're both high school kids. So.
Even so, man, you just run up and just grab someone's breast. So she realizes, she's like, the minute he does that, she goes into like, Yusuke, you fucking pervert. She turns around and slaps the hell out of him. But she knows that it's him, like the minute he did that, because he's the only one that would ever do that.
Right.
And so even though he's in Kuwabara's body, she's like, wow, I knew it was you the minute you started talking. And all it gets really weird, mushy for some reason. And so they start talking. He tells her he's got this thing to go through, this ordeal. Don't creep out my body. Go tell my mom, all this and that, right? And so they start hugging it out because she's happy to see Yusuke or to hear Yusuke again. And so Yusuke disappears back, and Kuwabara's like, what? Oh, I'm hugging this hot-ass girl. You're awesome. And she's like, I'm really sorry about this. She slaps the shit out of him and runs off, right? Because she has to like make him know that they're not together or anything. How else would she say? Because Kuwabara has no idea what's going on.
Right.
He's been possessed for an hour. Last thing he remembers was hanging out with his friends. Like, he doesn't know why he's all bruised up either, because he got his ass beat. And she slaps him and she runs off, and she's like, I'm really sorry about that. He's like, no, I probably deserved it. Kuwabara is way more of a gentleman than Urameshi was. He's like, yeah, I probably deserve that slap. I don't know what the fuck I did, but
I deserve it.
Yeah. And so she runs off to tell Atsuko that Yusuke is still alive, but it turns out that Atsuko had already figured that out, because when she opened the coffin to slap Yusuke one more time before they cremated him, she wanted to slap him one more time for dying. She noticed that he had some color in his face and that he was slightly warm and he had a very faint heartbeat. So it turns out he was in a coma. So she got all excited. So it was almost pointless to use because she found it anyway. And so Yusuke's like, well, there we go. So we move into episode 3. And so Kiko's going to school, and she gets accosted by these 3 guys from a different school. And there's a fucking toll to walk through this fucking, I don't know if she's going to, I think she's going home, if I remember right.
Yeah.
So she's going home, and so I guess she's taking a different path. And these 3 guys from a different school accost her, and they're like, hey, to go through this fucking toll, there's a $500 fee. And I'm like, God damn, $500 fucking dollars? And so she starts, they start like accosting her, right? Like grabbing her, like, you could pay another way, like being fucking nasty motherfuckers. And out of nowhere, Kuwabara shows up with his fucking friends, right? So leave her alone. And she's about to say something like, consider this an apology for last time. He's apologizing for never doing anything to her. You know what I mean? He didn't do it. That was Yusuke.
But that slap, it's
Like
like,
he assumes he did something. So like, this is my apology. Consider this an apology. I'm sorry. I don't know what I did. So this is what made me love this episode. Made me love Kuwabara more than Yusuke.
Yeah.
And so Kiko leaves, and they end up fighting with this other school. There's three of them to Kuwabara and his three, so it's 4-on-3. They fight those. They fight, and then they have a fucking huge ass fight. And without Yusuke there, Kuwabara is kind of like the second toughest, like the toughest person in the city.
Yeah.
Or the toughest teenager, I guess. So he's doing pretty well. So Yusuke was even like, well, yeah, Kuwabara's pretty good when he's not fighting me. Like, when he's fighting normal people is what he said.
Compared to when he's fighting him.
Yeah, apparently Yusuke is like a beast, in the ring.
He's like the god of the city.
And so the next day, the teacher, Mr. Where is it? Mr. Akashi is completely upset because these three assholes told on Kuwabara and his friends, and apparently they're the moms of these kids. They consider them saints, even though they're the worst fucking, trying to attack a woman and trying to get money, extort money and stuff. But so Kuwabara and his friends get in trouble for the fight, even though they didn't start it. And Yusuke's saying, like, why doesn't he? Because Yusuke's following him around with Boten, but they're just girls, so they can't really intervene. He's like, why didn't he just tell him that they were helping Kiko? And or that's what Boten says. And Yusuke's like, teachers like that, they don't give a shit. Well, whatever is true or false, they don't care.
Right.
So he knows that this teacher's just out to get Kuwabara and his friends anyway. So no matter what they say. So Mr. Akashi threatens one of Kuwabara's friends, Okubo, has a part-time job that's he can only have the part-time job if it's sanctioned by the school.
Right.
So that they can take that away. But he needs that job because he's helping his mom feed his younger siblings. So I need that job or we won't be able to eat. So the teacher doesn't care. So Kuwabara's like, all right, why don't you just punish me then? And whatever the punishment you give me, you just let Okubo keep his job. And Mr. Akashi's like, oh, here we go. So his punishment, Kuwabara's punishment is not to fight for an entire week.
That's his lifeblood.
That's all he does, yeah. So if he won't fight for a whole week, Okubo can keep his job.
Right.
And one of the other minions is like, how about just 2 hours? He can't go a whole week without fighting. How about 3 hours? Because they know there's no way. Because they're worried that if they don't get to fight, because it goes on all of them, but it's really on Kuwabara because he's the leader. If they don't fight, they get jumped by other people. They can't do anything. So what if you get jumped by those guys from that school? So like the teacher doesn't care. So Kuwabara's like, fine, a whole week. So Kuwabara goes home. He's like, all right, guys, just lay low. Don't fight anybody. And 1 week, it'll be no problem. And Kuwabara just fucking dips out. He starts running like, I gotta get home. And he gets jumped by those three guys that he fought last night.
Yeah.
And Mr. Akashi had set that up himself. He told him he was going to go through this little, what street he was going down, right? And so Mr. Akashi followed him so that he could watch Kuwabara fight. And if he sees him, he can, expel him. Or no, take Okubo's job away.
Yeah.
So at first, Kuwabara's going to run away like, I don't got time today. And he dips, but then they call him a coward, right? And that's like, oh, you can't call me a coward. So he comes back. He's like, you guys can hit me as much as you want, but I'm not going to fight back. And they sure do beat the hell out of him. And Mr. Akashi's like, fuck, he's not fighting back. Damn it. So I got to figure out another way to get him in trouble. And so the next day, the three friends and Kuwabara, they meet up and they see that Kuwabara's all beat to hell. But Kuwabara's like, I'm fine. Don't you guys worry about it. So Mr. Akashi comes in and he's like, all right, there's an addition to your punishment. He's like, well, you can't add additions. Like, yes, I can. I'm a teacher.
So I've got that kind of authority, motherfucker.
I hate teachers. That reminds me. So the promise was because they have the honor system, right? And it's the highest thing in their school. Like if you break the honor system at the school, it's like a huge offense.
Right.
You can get expelled. So the promise was that Kuwabara would not fight anybody for a whole week.
Right.
And the actor that did the voice for Mr. Akashi did it so well that I hated him. He's like, you know what happens when people break their premises? As he walks away, like, you know what happens when people break? I was like, oh, you motherfucker. Just make sure you don't break your premises. The way he said promises, the way he sings songs it, I'm like, oh, you know what happens to people who break their premises? I was mad as fuck. Okay, so the addition to the punishment now is that they each have to get a 50 or higher on their physical science test,
Right.
and all the other three are like,
So we went from no fighting to now you have to get really good science grades.
right. So no fighting, and now you gotta get a good test score. So the other three are fine, right? Miyamoto got a 45 on his last test, so with a little studying, he'll get a 50. Kamada got a 57, so he's good. Okubo, who's the guy who's going to lose his job if they fail, got a 39. But if he studies, he can get a 50. So they're like, that's fine. It's like, what score did you get, Kubara? You get a 7. So they're like, oh shit, oh my. So he's got to get another 53 points on his next test to help Okubo keep his job.
Yeah.
And Urameshi's outside the window floating around laughing. He's like, wow, cool bar is dumber than me. And Botan asked him, what was your last test score? Like, I got a 12. So I'm smarter than a cool bar.
It's at least out of 7.
So the one thing I respect about Cool Bar is that when he sticks to, that's what Botan said, like he sticks to a goal like glue. He said he's gonna get a good score. So the entire week, all he did day and night was study. He was even at a bookstore looking for a book that would help him pass the physical science test, and he got accosted by 3 guys from a different one. They beat the hell out of him. So just hurry up and beat my ass. I gotta read this book. Yusuke even helps him in his dreams with study for the test. He's like Yusuke stand like Cool Bar's like a little desk writing, and Yusuke standing over him reading the book. Like why is blood red? He's like, because of red blood cells. But how does that go? Hemoglobin. And just started random fucking science facts. And so Cool Bar takes the test, and then he writes down all the answers on a scratch paper, another piece of paper, and he goes back himself and looks through the book to see if he got it right. He's like, I got over a 50. Like he knows that he got at least a 50, so he's happy about that because he checked his answers 4 times.
Right.
So Mr. Akashi's grading the test, and he's like, fuck, he got a 53. That dumb knucklehead. So fucking Mr. Iwamoto comes up. He's like, yeah, let me show you how to grade a different way. And he fucking rubs off one of the answers, so it's blank. He's like, oh, I see what you see. That was never an answer there to begin with. And so he ends up getting a 48 instead of a 53. And Cool Bar can't believe it. And he's like he's just devastated. He's about to hit Mr. Akashi, but he knows if he does, it's going to be even worse. So he just fucking lets him go. And but he leaves, and Mr. Takanawa, who's been in the episode the whole time, overhearing Mr. Akashi with all these terrible fucking punishments and like what him and Mr. Iwamoto did, he forces him to regrade the test back to what it originally was, 53. So they all ended up passing the test, and Okubo gets to keep his job. And Mr. Akashi and Mr. Iwamoto get in trouble by Mr. I don't know if Mr. Takanawa was the principal, because it seems like he is.
Right.
But he reprimands both the teachers for what they did. And so Okubo's like, okay, thank you so much, Cool Bar, you just saved my life. Like, because it turns out further on that Okubo is the only person working in his household. His mom's sick, so she can't work either.
Right.
So if he really didn't have a job, they would
have been fucked.
Yeah, they would have really starved to death. And Cool Bar's like, oh, it's nothing, man. Just an what do you say? Just an agreement among friends or something, or agreement among gentlemen or some shit.
It's just a few ass whoopings.
Like, man, this is what guys do. So Cool Bar became my favorite character just from the whole episode. And he even thanks, because he can sort of sense the spirit world. He looks up at the sky and he knows that Yusuke is up there somewhere. Like, thanks, man, for helping him study that night. And Yusuke's like, I did do a good thing. And that's that's episode 3. So next week we'll go for the next 3. So far it feels so relatable. I can see why it's such a like
massive anime at one point.
Yeah, like why it's such a popular, like even like it's timeless. Like if you heap relatable stuff into anything, people can watch it decades from then or a century and still understand. Like I can understand Yusuke, being upset that no one seems to like care about him, and then find out that he was wrong the whole time. He's like, well, fuck. And Cool Bar, doing his best to help his friend because his friend needs him. So that's all you need. Like if your friend needs you, that's all you need to know. No questions asked. I got you, buddy. I'll take this house. And they beat the fucking shit out of him.
Do they beat the brakes off of him?
Man, he fucking hit the ground, right? And and like the silhouette goes to black, and you see him kicking the hell out of him. He's like, "Argh." And I'm like, God damn. They're just kicking the shit out under this little bridge. They're just kicking the shit out of him. Oh my God. He's getting his ass beat. He's over here like, there are two types of volcanoes, cone shapes, and how do you say this other word? He's over here, he never stopped studying.
Why he's getting his ass beat?
Like, that man was dedicated. Like, yeah, stick to your goal. He stuck to his goal like glue. He promised he would pass the test, and he succeeded. And they kept it realistic, right? They were like, he got an 85, he got a 53. Like, you know what I mean?
He got exactly what he needed.
I don't know what the grading system is in Japan.
It'd be the same.
So 53 is like barely passing.
Bare minimum?
Basically, yeah.
You got an F.
Like, if you got like a 73, be like, well, he did pretty well, but 53 seems believable.
Yeah.
Going from a 7 to 53, yeah.
Just enough. It was all he needed.
That's all he needed.
After getting the brakes beat off of him.
All day, every fucking day, too. Especially with all the people that jumped Yusuke in the second episode. You know how many people hated fucking... I'm assuming they were getting revenge for the ass whooping they got from him, that buzzed him, though. So the beating that Yusuke gave to them in his body, they were like, oh, there's cool, Bar, that son of a bitch. You think you beat us up like it's nothing? Like, what are you talking about?
I don't remember.
I don't understand. And he just beat the hell out of him. Help me. But yeah, it's starting off like a really good series.
That's cool.
So we'll see how it goes.
That is a lot better, though, considering that even with like One Piece, it took, the first 20 episodes to actually get going? For most people, anyway.
When you really get hooked, it's probably the Arlong series.
Oh, yeah.
When he fights Arlong after he helps Nami, yeah.
So,
that's when I was in. That's when I was Ride or Die. Like, oh, so we're kind of that kind of anime.
Because even like with like Bleach, for instance, it was after the first few episodes.
Wasn't it real like after, like it was during the that mission where they fight that shark looking guy? I remember that was like the episode
Kingfisher.
No, like it was that one that they had. It was supposed to be like they were on their first mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Kakashi, and the guy had lied about how the difficulty, so the level was lower than it actually was, and they get to this, like it was like they were building a bridge or something.
I said Bleach.
I know, but I'm talking about Naruto. Like,
Naruto. I was thinking, God,
no, I was like,
you threw me off completely.
Like, I was saying what you mean. Like there was a specific episode where like it really hooks you.
Yeah,
I think it wasn't until then that was when Naruto was really like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's about like when Naruto started getting really good. Because like that's whenever it's like if you made it to that point after that, it's like, oh, okay, this is a good series. But they didn't have that like grace period that some of the other anime did at the time. You know, like if you didn't ever make it to that point, you just didn't like the anime.
Yeah, like Neon Genesis Evangelion. I've seen that series like 3 times all the way through, and I still don't understand.
But all the big 3, which were One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach, if you made it to the first 20-ish episodes total, or even like the first 15, if you made it to that and then you made it to that point, you actually liked the series. Because it started picking up from there for basically all of them.
And then, it just kept going for One Piece.
So with YuYu Hakusho to actually start off really good.
The first episode, like really got me. Just like
the second one's like...
Yeah, and then the third one was like, yeah.
Yeah.
But the first one, just the relatability in the first one was what hooked me. And then it just pushed me on into the third one. And then after that, I was like, well, I'm good to go.
Because it could also go the other way, too, sometimes with different anime where the first episode's great, and then it kind of falls off after that completely.
Yeah.
So it's cool that it's actually,
I've had shows like that where like the first season like fucking mega hit, and then like just like I watched like the second season like excited, like, oh, I don't know why that happens.
Just depressed as hell.
I guess maybe like the hype's gone or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Because I remember a series I used to watch called Penny Dreadful, and the first season was fucking banging.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about
Then the second season was like, bang. And I never finished the series.
I think that's how it was for a lot of people with the Umbrella Academy.
Oh yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, like where the first season was great, and then after that it's like,
Like season 1 and 2, and then 3 really tapers off, and then 4 was fucking horrendous.
I made it to the first.
So like season 1 and 2 is probably the best, and then after that it just gets worse and worse.
But you still see the logo stuff for them everywhere.
I guess it's a brand name.
It's kind of like Stranger Things, like brand wise
I
anyway.
never understood Stranger Things' popularity.
I never did either.
Like I don't like. I'm watching it right, and like there's nothing like so profound that it's like shapes my, like it rechanges my viewpoint or like
Right.
my life, the way I look at life. I'm like, this is just another. Like, I don't know what it hits in people's nostalgia or their brain,
Right.
but it just does not hit. That's probably I must not have that part of that brain.
I'm the same way. I think I've seen, like, just even from clips, it's like,
Because I've seen the first full season. I'm like what
it
is,
never got you hooked.
no, I'm like, what is what? Like Game of Thrones, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
you watch it, and then you get to the fucking red wedding, and like you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then the last season was fucking horrendous. But I don't understand Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Maybe I gotta analyze it a little bit more. It's like, oh, now I understand. Like now I see. But no,
It's like by that point, it's like, I still don't
I
see.
just don't. I don't get the hype at all.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. But then again, I'm somebody that never really got interested in like even Star Trek.
Unless they're lying to us, and like it's not even no one even watches it. But somehow Netflix is pushing. They've spent so much money on it. We got no choice.
To be fair, I don't know any person that I have ever worked with that has actually liked it. So I mean,
Or, like I've never seen people talk about it. Like
right?
I'm like, so how is
Like
it,
you always see media about it, but you never see somebody talk
like
about
how great it is? Yeah, I'm like, so where the fuck is the hype coming from?
Like it's all media that like Twitter and like Facebook and like different kind of like news shows and
Like
stuff.
sponsored content creators. Like,
Yeah.
here we go, one more season, baby.
Oh, thank God we're back on to Stranger Things.
I'm like, huh?
I don't know. That is true though. I haven't ever met any person in real life that just loved the show.
Like those those Let's Watchers. Like that's what I call them. Like the Let's players. They play video games.
Yeah.
The ones that like the ones that watch video like movies and stuff.
Yeah.
I call them Let's Watchers
Let's Watchers?
because they watch stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like they're Let's Plays. Let's watch. They'll watch like The Boys. They'll watch like they watch that new Obi-Wan Kenobi show. They'll watch like movies. The Walking Dead. I've never seen them watch Stranger Things.
No, but that's true though. I haven't ever seen that. I've seen people watch and go back and watch Stargate,
There you go.
but I have not seen Stranger Things.
None of these Let's Watchers watch, Stranger Things.
No. They'll even go back and watch the original Lord of the Rings and stuff.
They're watching The Boys and Invincible.
Yeah, that is true.
That's kind of odd now.
Now that I think about it, yeah.
Just both come up missing. We just then they found out.
But yeah, like like there's a lot of memes for Stranger Things. Like that's basically everywhere, but I have not ever met any person that actually liked the show.
And it made all those kids' careers, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand the hype for the show at all.
And like even with like TikTok music and stuff somehow blew up from it. But it's like I don't know. Like
Weird. It's kind of weird now.
now it's gonna make me think about that for a while now. It's like what the hell is going on here?
And the next time I see you, I gotta go to your house, and then I come in your room, and like the whole fucking wall is just filled with paperwork. There's some strangers like, I'm like, Mike, are you okay? Like, I just need to understand. Why.
Strings going from picture
Yeah,
to
just,
picture.
everywhere, just strings everywhere. It's like, no wonder there's a whole Dollar Tree's missing strings. You got it over here.
Poster boards up everywhere.
Like, half the city's missing strings and fucking little what the fuck are they called, the little pins.
Oh, the little thumbtacks.
Yeah, you just spot them all out.
It makes an entire web of shit.
I always found that funny, like watching that. But like like someone had some group or some technician in the movie crew had to do all that shit and put all that shit up there
And make sure nothing moves.
to make sure it all seems like makes some kind of sense, but not really. If I had to do that, I would put like some random bullshit Easter eggs. Like it'd be like all random stuff, right? Like a horrible murder, right? And like someone would go like, "Ooh, so the Muffin Man,
With like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
gingerbread man, someone the Muffin,
Hoo-hoo.
just as a joke." Yeah.
It's just Pillsbury Man in the corner where it's above him
Be fucking hilarious.
with a smile written in blood.
But I guess we'll find out why. Because they still got to do that final season that they've been doing for like 45 years.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm gonna have to ask some people that I work with. It's like, have you ever watched Stranger Things?
What the fuck is a Stranger Thing? That means a porno?
That's probably what it
They don't even make Stranger Thing porno. I've never seen a Stranger Thing parody porn. You know what I mean? That's that. Now we know there's something wrong. Everything has been pornified. You know how I know? I found a video called the Golden Girls, Triple X. Like, you know the old
God,
the old,
yeah.
old Golden
With
Girls.
Betty White.
Yeah, Betty White getting fucked.
Oh God. Although to be fair, she'd probably not hate it.
In the hair, with the hairstyle too. Like that little old lady hair.
Yeah.
And like the cover is like it's just four old naked women. It's Nina Hartley, who's a famous older porn star, and Darla Crane, which I also know because I'm a pervert. And all four of them are just standing in line, fully naked on the cover, which they don't really sell porn with full nudity, which is kind of weird, but it's always covered.
Right.
But they're fully nude, and they have the traditional Golden Girls haircut, and it's just called Not Golden Girls Triple X.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, give me 3 copies.
For the fourth to spare.
But everything is pornified, so the fact that Stranger Things is not, fucking South Park is pornified.
That does not surprise me, but
That fucking Kevin Smith, the original Clerks?
Mhm.
That's pornified. It's called not Clerks Triple X or something like that. And it's like they have, I kid you not, because I read the back cover of it. They have the color in original black and white. They have a safe version where it's like the actual it's actually just the plot. So it's like 15 minutes long probably. They have Buffy the Vampire Slayer porn.
that does not.
That
surprise me.
also has the full video, like the full porn movie, right? But then also has the safe version that's just the plot. And I'm like, just the plot, huh? Because I guess they want to show that they can also make, which I go, why bother?
Then you're just making another Buffy show
Exactly, but I kind of want to see the safe version.
just to see how bad it is.
Well, maybe if it's good, you never know.
You know it's not good.
Well, what
You've already told me about that one series that you watched where it was going between 2 different
Oh yeah,
stories.
2 different fucking shows. I'm like, one was a sci-fi story, and then one was a slice of life, office. I'm like, wait, because and like. The funniest thing about it, right? Because I'm sitting I'm like, it was like one of those scenes in the movie where like the detective finds out who the killer is. That's what it felt like. I was like, wait, like like when the room, the area around you goes far away, but then the camera zooms in on just a person.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, are these 2 different fucking movies mashed together? It was basically, I kid you not, it was one scene from one movie, then the next scene from the other movie, and then it would be back to the original movie scene, and then the second movie scene. So they would just keep flipping back and forth. And I'm like, and they never interlocked or they were just 2 different fucking movies the whole time. And then
Just going back and forth.
I'll never get over that. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I was like, sitting like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Sitting there with your fingers steepled, like, what the fuck is happening?
I was just so fucking confused. You know what finally made me realize how powerful cinema is? Like, so you might read a book, you can be like, oh my God, this book changed my life, right?
Right.
Or you can, well, I guess that's the only other thing, books, and you can play a game and like, wow, that game really, like Red Dead Redemption 2 was a fucking phenomenal game.
Right.
Nothing has hit me hard in a long time until I watched Squid Games season 2, episode 1. And these 2 characters get so basically, if you guys don't know what Squid Games is, it's gonna be a little bit of spoilers. You remember Squid Games, right? Well, in the main guy from the first one, who's now got all this money, he's trying to use it to get back into the game, to try to shut the games down. And so he hires these 2 guys. He hires this guy that used to be a loan shark that he owed money to. He hires him and his crew to find this guy called the salesman, who is the one that gives you the card that you call that would get you into the game. So if they can find this salesman, get the card, he can get back into the games and try to shut him down. So the loan shark and one of his buddies has been spending like 2 years looking for the salesman, and the main character has spent millions of dollars trying to catch him. And they're like they're talking about like we've been doing this for like we've been because they go into subways looking for him. That's where he first met him. The main character met the salesman in the subway, and he's like the I guess I'm gonna call you the minion. The minion to the loan shark is like, we've been going to fucking subways for 2 years. We haven't found anything. We've been wasting time. Like they go in the morning, like early as fuck, all the way until like fucking midnight or until the subways shut down every single day. They've just been, they're just making money for no reason, basically, just to hang out at the subway all day. And like he said the minion's saying, telling the loan shark how this is ridiculous. Like, there's no that we've been we would have found him by now. It's been 2 years. We haven't found anything. We've checked every subway for hours on end every single day. We've had crews into every subway station in the city or like wherever location they were at. And like the loan shark's like, and he asked the minion. The minion's like, "Do you even believe that this is true?" And he's like, "It has to be true, or else why would he be spending millions of dollars looking for this?" And they're talking about it, right? And the game they play is like this one where you have a little piece, right? This piece of paper, and the other guy has a piece of paper, and it's folded in a certain way that if you slam it down and smack the bottom paper, it pops up, and your goal is to flip over his paper, and basically, if they win, they get 100,000 yen, which is like $100 or something.
Mm.
And if they lose, the salesman gets to slap them in the face because they can't afford to pay. Like the loser gets 100,000 yen, but in place of that, the salesman gets to slap them in the face. And so they're talking, right? It's like, we're never going to find this guy. And you just hear this fucking slap. And then he just stops you dead in your tracks. And they look across the subway as the subway track's moving. And then they see the salesman and playing the game with this guy. He's just slapping the shit out of this dude because the guy keeps losing. And he gives them the salesman gives him a card. The loan shark and the minion follow him, and they try to get him. They call the main characters like, "Yo, we finally found the guy," and he tries to get there to tell him to like just follow him, but don't do anything. I'll be right there. They start losing him, so they got no choice, but they try to nab him, right? But the salesman's like fucking highly trained, so he ends up catching both of them, and then he takes them away. He ties them to this chair, and he makes them play a game. He makes them play rock paper scissors -1. So basically, you play rock paper scissors with both hands. You got to take a hand away. Every time you drop both hands with a bah, bah, bah. And so he forced them to play that with a combination of Russian roulette. So he puts a fucking bullet in the gun. He fucking spins it. And he's like, "All right, play rock." And they play rock, paper, scissors. And he's like, he pulls the trigger on one of them. He does that for a while, and it's empty clips, every time. But then he starts adding one. Let's make it interesting. So he puts fucking 5 bullets into the fucking thing. So there's only one empty, right? So he fucking spins it, and like it's with the music, with the tension, with these guys fucking acting. They're like they're like acting their fucking hearts out, and the loan shark and the minion, they play rock paper scissors, and they fucking drop, right. And fucking for some dumb reason, the minion made 2 rocks with one hand, right? Or something like that, right? I can't remember what it was exactly. And the loan shark had paper and rock. So he clearly won. If he takes the rock away, he wins, regardless of what he says. And there's a disqualification that if you don't take your hands away, you're disqualified. So I'm just like, well, so the loan shark just won, and this minion's about to get his brains blown out, right? So I'm just like I'm waiting for the fucking gunshot, right? And all this, the music keeps fucking going up in tempo, or something like something about it just kept going and going. The music, the tension, and then you hear the salesman say disqualified, and the minion looks down, and it turns because like they were shaking, right? And like the minion's like got no choice. So he takes the hand away, but he's got both rocks, so he's gonna lose regardless.
Right.
And he's just like he recently got married. The loan shark was the officiator at his marriage or something like that. So he's just like and then the salesman like disqualified, and the minion looks down, and the fucking loan shark had kept both his hands there, so he disqualified himself. I was fucking blown away at that he sacrificed himself for his minion, and I'm like I hit pause, right, and I just sat back in my chair like, so that's what cinema's like. Like that's actual cinema. That's because like I was there. the suspension of disbelief was there.
Right.
I was in that moment with him, and I was like, "Oh my fucking god!" And he just kept. I never, because I wasn't expecting him to keep his hands there and sacrifice himself for his fucking friend, and he fucking did. And I was like, and he just fucking looks at him, and he just fucking gets his brains blown out. And I'm like, God damn, I'm hard as a rock right now, just for the pure storytelling. like the acting, the music, it's all one combination that's fucking profound sometimes. Like if it's done perfectly, like you just forget about the whole world. Like I sat there and paused. I had to pause for like 10 minutes. I was like, cause I was like he just gave me, like he just sacrificed, like he gave himself up for his fucking friend. And I was like, damn. And I just was not expecting that.
Yeah, you're not gonna get that from Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about, wasn't it?
No, but it's true. Like that's why I said I don't understand the obsession with it. Like I do understand why people like Squid Games. Like that, I actually like. I can wrap my mind around that.
That was a different. Yeah, it was like
even the first season was pretty good. Like
first season, like took over the fucking internet for a while.
And I really didn't want to watch it for that one reason, because it's like you got that little bit of a resistance where it's like.
Well, when you start seeing TikToks of them doing the fucking little cookie thing.
Yeah, like it was a good season and everything, but like I can understand it. Like I actually heard people say I like Squid Games. I still don't hear anybody saying they fucking like Stranger Things.
That is an odd thing now for there to be such
for it to supposedly
a flagship show of Netflix to be so little discussed across the media at all.
Like in personal like encounters of people, I heard people. I knew people that because I don't want to say exactly what I do for a living, but you know, regardless, places I would go, there was talk of Squid Games wherever the fuck you went.
There you go.
I still don't hear that about Stranger Things.
And maybe, you know what it probably is? Like maybe while it was going, right, people talked about it, but because they waited so long, they completely burned out their fire.
Maybe
because maybe they're tired of waiting.
But even then, like when it first came out, I seen a bunch of stuff on YouTube about it. I seen a bunch of stuff from like not review shows, but kind of like shills, where you know where it's like they're only talking about Netflix stuff all the time, like IMDb and like different kind of like online.
Almost did that myself for the show. We could call it Netflix No Way. But I want to sell myself out.
Yeah, well, you're Mr. Tubi. It's okay.
Mr. Tubi, that's true.
So you'll watch some of the craziest shit on Tubi. Some of the randomest
old shit on Tubi.
But I never seen, and I could be wrong. I could be. I'm willing to accept that I could be wrong. But in my personal experience of talking to hundreds of people on a regular basis, nobody's talked about Stranger Things.
Weird.
And I know some nerds who like.
Are there demographics like in nursing homes? I
don't know. Like, I don't know if it's maybe an older generation that we don't talk to regularly.
That'd be sad as hell too.
But
I'm like watching these kids. Like, why?
It didn't have something to do with like where it resembled like
the 80s,
like it.
Oh, I don't know what exactly. I think they were pulling a lot from the 80s.
Maybe
like 80s nostalgia. Because it's like set in the 80s, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's set in the 80s because there's a lot of old classic rock songs in it.
But I'm like, okay, so it can still appeal to a newer generation with old, like, I mean, that's what Guardians of the Galaxy did with their old music.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I'll have to think about it even more though, because I don't know. It's just baffling.
You said that right. I got to think about it even more. And like it cuts to me going to an insane asylum. Like, I'm here to see my friend. Like, sign in here, sir.
It's like, why? Why is it popular?
I come in and I just have written all over the fucking mattresses on the walls and shit. Stranger Things.
Because like, I don't know, with as much media as it got, I don't know. Like Squid Games has felt more organic to me.
Exactly, right? Like it just popped in and like it was word of mouth.
It came out of nowhere.
Like word of mouth really sold it.
Yeah.
You seen Squid Games? Oh, you better get
there was people going with Halloween costumes of those masks that they wear and shit.
It was like it was a PlayStation mask, they called them.
Nobody just went to with a Halloween costume of Stranger Things.
Well, I don't know how you would. It'd be regular clothes, wouldn't it?
Or like the crazy girl or whatever, I think in that. Yeah.
Ghostbusters. For some reason, they all dressed up as Ghostbusters in the show.
Yeah.
But who knows? I guess we'll find out when we get sued by Netflix.
That'll probably happen, so don't worry. I mean, it's not going to be as bad as
Like,
Nintendo.
damn, they found us out.
Only Nintendo will go after you.
Jesus, especially if your last name is Bowser.
Yeah.
Fucking tear you a new asshole. And you know what? You'll give us your name. What's your name? Oh, you gotta take my last name. Hell yeah, we're gonna take your last name. Oh,
It would have been funnier if his first name was King.
God,
King Bowser.
man, they fucking tore that poor man's asshole apart.
I know.
Jesus, man, Nintendo's the cruelest shit. Like, goddamn, Nintendo.
But they won't go after that other game.
Which one?
Pal World.
Pal World?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's like a knockoff of Pokemon.
Oh,
Only where like some of the characters are supposed to be like where they use guns and shit like that and actually murder each other. So it's totally different.
they probably don't care. Like, yeah, it's just like Digimon.
Yeah, but they couldn't sue for Digimon. Digimon was its own thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they probably don't care because like this Pokemon's Pokemon, like $1 billion franchise.
And somehow that's become popular again.
Pokemon.
Yeah, like extreme. Like scalpers have made Pokemon super popular again.
Scalpers have ruined the fucking economy of Pokemon. You can't even buy a damn Pokemon card
Yeah.
booster pack without fucking getting ripped to shreds.
And now there's people waiting outside like they're fiending for some crack and stuff like that. It's like,
Remember, I saw a video on from they had just released a new set at some store in Canada or something.
Yeah.
People just fucking throwing themselves into the fucking pile.
at Costco, like they
Yeah, that was the Costco. Like,
they had Costco.
everyone get fucking back.
There's people like grabbing fucking 10 cents at a time and running to the cash register with it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Hey man, they know how to make that money, I guess.
But then they turn around and try to sell it. Nobody buys it. It's like it don't make no damn sense to me.
Welcome to my YouTube video. Let's go do this card thing. They do that little card fucking shit.
Just for the unpacking.
Yeah, the unpacking cards or the unpacking videos. That is, it's sometimes that is pretty
Relaxing.
soothing as a background noise. Yeah,
Yeah.
until they start fucking flipping out.
Where it's like, we pulled a hollow.
Like, did you pull a hollow or did you just fucking reseal that card and you knew exactly what was in there?
Exactly. Same thing goes with like the Magic the Gathering ones and stuff like that too. All the same shit. That's why it's like, I don't know if I trust you guys. It's like, eh. And then the people that are like way too like, I love Pokemon cards, Digimon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, all that stuff. But there's an obsession level with some of these people.
I saw a guy. There was a video on TikTok where he just fucking threw his like. He has one of those like card holders, but the one that can extend out.
Yeah.
And he fucking threw that bitch on the floor, right? And it was like nothing but fucking blue eyes white dragons, like from one fucking sleeve all the way to the fucking top he was holding. It looked like his whole fucking mortgage on that thing.
Kaiba would have been really mad.
He's like, that's where all the blue eyes white dragons went on. I'll give you $1 billion. Here you go.
All for the blue eyes.
All for one blue eyes white dragon, which is still to me doesn't make any sense how there was fucking 4 of them. If you could only make the 3 eyes, what is it? The blue eyes 3-headed dragon?
The ultimate blue eyes dragon.
Right. But wait, what was it called?
Blue eyes ultimate dragon.
Okay. So that makes more sense then. So there could have been 4 of them?
Yeah, just 3.
But the name says ultimate instead of like a number.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only 3?
Mm-hmm.
So why were there 4 blue eyes cards?
Because the blue eyes ultimate dragon only had 3 heads.
Because in anime, remember, I think one of them one of them gets destroyed, doesn't it?
Yes.
So there was 4 cards because he still has 3 to make the 3-headed.
Yeah, because he ripped up Yugi's grandpa's card.
So it couldn't be used against him. Did he say some dumb shit like that?
Yes. Which made no sense because then later on in the series there was cards that were way more powerful than the blue eyes white dragon.
Cause like, okay, in my head, right? Because so he needed all the cards. Like in my head, here's what I thought, right? Would be logical. He had 2, right? But he needed a third one. There was only 3 in existence.
Right.
So that he can make the blue eyes 3-headed dragon or the ultimate dragon, what do they call it, right?
Yeah.
Because that card is 3 heads.
Yes.
That makes sense. Why the fuck are there 4 blue eyes dragons? If you can only make 3, you only need 3. Why is there a 4th one?
And considering that you can only have 3 in a deck.
So just they had it just so he could tear it to shreds.
Yes.
But so the guy really was being real loose with these. Like, you don't need fucking 4 then.
Yeah. And you can only have 3 in a deck anyway, so it wouldn't matter. but you'll use it against me.
Like, how, bitch? If you fucking make the ultimate, it's like 3 times as strong as mine. The hell's he gonna, what's the one gonna dragon gonna
When I
do?
was even really fucked up, it only had 4,500 attack.
Well, it's still more than 3,000, isn't it?
It is more than 3,000, but still, like it's
Not quite a jump, is it?
no. Overall, no.
Yeah.
It's like you get an extra 15. Like in the original game, though, that's a lot. But now it's like fucking tuner monster will destroy everything with their effects. So it's like I summon one monster that's got 100 attack power, but a whole list of effects, and it destroys everything.
One effect is it doesn't like dragons, so all the dragons get off the field.
Basically.
Oh god.
It's kind of like just a little kid made up. It says all dragons they're all destroyed.
So I was like, oh damn.
It's like, but my ultimate blue eyes white dragon. It says any monster that starts with a U.
Do you know? So there was a guy that was protesting the fact that there was no card limit to Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes.
So he bought like a 4,000. He had like a deck so fucking long. He needed a friend to help him carry it. And I'm like, how does that actually goes against your help? Like, I understand what he's trying to do, right?
We're trying to prove a point, yeah.
But the point is mute because I mean, if they, no matter how, like you diminish your ability to get the cards you need, the bigger your deck is.
Yes.
So I would just have a lean ass deck of like, well, what's the lowest you could have?
40.
I'd have a lean ass 40 card deck.
Yeah, because it's a 40 and then trying to remember. You can have a fusion deck and you can have a extra deck for like between rounds. You can swap out some cards.
Cool.
But I think it's like 15 or 20.
I just have a lean ass fucking dinosaur deck.
Why do you think the starter kits only come with 40 cards?
But like, man, because I remember I bought that one dinosaur guy's deck, Rex or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love the dinosaur ones. And I had some great. I also had that Millennium. I actually got the Millennium Shield from McDonald's.
I still have that.
Which is like the 3,000 defense.
Yeah.
I love that card.
Yep.
And I actually saw it at that store. You remember that old Second Chance Books and Comics?
Yeah.
That closed down because the fucking literacy rate is like below 50% now.
Super low literacy rate, yes.
Dumb motherfucking man. Why someone struggle to say algorithm? I'm like, it's algorithm. Just say spell the algorithm.
Algorithm.
So that person said they couldn't spell, so they couldn't read Sentinel. Centennial. Like it's Sentinel. It says the Sentinel. Almost slapped him in the face.
And Centennial is not even spelled that way. I'm a horrible like with words, and I still understand most of them. Like, good lord.
But the literacy rate's fucking horrendous.
Oh, what's really annoying is whenever you get a British person or an Australian person that says aluminium. God, how the fuck do they say it again? Aluminium or something like that, but instead of aluminum.
They say aluminium.
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 Yeah. It's like it's aluminum. Just say aluminum. It's not that fucking difficult.
You want to go, mate? You start fucking fist fighting.
It's like, fuck yes, I do. Or add in the U to color. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
After the O at the end, right?
Yeah. It's like,
different ways to spell, I guess.
Or herbs. It's like, stop breathing on everybody with the fucking H. It's like you go up to somebody's ear and just go, herbs.
Hello, Clarice.
Every fucking time. It's like, it's herbs. It's like, y'all take off the fucking W off of water and say, ball water. But you can't fucking say herbs.
The fuck is an herb, mate?
Water. Can I have a bottle of water? What the fuck did you say? Taking off letters off all these other fucking words. Can't take off the H.
Yeah, what can you do? Herbs. That would look weird, wouldn't it? Herbs, just ER. Herbs.
Yeah, but we spell honor
Herbs.
with an H.
Honor.
It's like y'all say honor. No, you don't.
Honor. I think there is a suffix reason for that. I had a book on suffix spellings.
Yeah.
I fucking lost it. But there's a reason for the way they're spelled. I can't recall why.
But
I don't care. I don't care at the moment.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just because the word has the H in front, it's a silent H. Just fucking say herbs.
What else does it have a silence?
You don't say knife. Why? I don't know. Some people
You
might.
don't? Oh, that's a new one for me.
You go around every day and say knife.
Be knifing everybody around here. Like, what the fuck did he say?
It would be funny, but
Well, oh, yeah, I forgot we teeter off sometimes. We get into such fucking huge like debates, and then we forget what the fuck we're talking about. We were talking about Stranger Things.
yes, we're talking about strange things twice now. We kind of went off a little bit, but yeah, it is what it is. That's why we have fun here.
That's what we do here.
I guess we can go ahead and move on to our next one. You look so depressed.
Yeah, I am impressed. The way the Riddler one went, I can only assume it's gonna be even worse.
Hey, you brought this into existence.
Hey man, it looked like a great Christmas present. That was my fucking fault.
Oh,
They're all fucking ass.
I'm getting dividends off this shit. This is great. So the next one we hit last week, we did the Riddler.
The worst fucking version of the Riddler I've ever seen.
Wait till you see Catwoman.
Looks like the one from Tim Burton's version, isn't it? On the back, the skin suit.
Kind of, yeah, on the back, but on the front, it's more the modern one.
Huh? Never seen that version.
Yeah, it's kind of like the.
Oh, I guess she's a little bit more like Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, kind
That
of.
makes sense.
Kind of. This is to me reminds me more of the '08 style of Catwoman, like the later aughts, 2000s. Catwoman.
Oh, the one from the Batman Begins was like more dark skinned, right? She's
Uh,
also a prostitute.
yeah. So is this one, I think. But
God dang it, Catwoman!
And,
you don't need to sell. You
what's sad is that
can make an OnlyFans.
the cover shows her as a little bit darker skin, but in the actual book,
She's white as a snowflake.
yeah.
She's old as hell.
No, that's not her. That's not her.
Like
That'd be
93 years
fucked up. Oh, we're gonna get to that point though.
Hey, baby.
We're gonna get to that point. So, we're gonna continue on our One Bad Day series. Last week we did.
Okay, there's gonna be one bad day every time. you read it.
Every week there's gonna be it's gonna be a bad day. Okay,
This is my one bad day.
where you get to hear about the story. This is Catwoman.
I love how they don't understand what one bad day means, and they go for like years or like for the Riddler being like or the fucking his whole life.
Yes. So,
Oh yeah, let me reiterate for people: the one bad day is supposed to be the trope that the Joker became the Joker on one really bad day. That's how he became his persona. So to follow that storyline, your character is supposed to have one really bad day that makes him that person. So the Riddler should have one bad day that made him the Riddler.
yes,
So Catwoman should have one bad day that made her Catwoman.
yes.
They're not understanding what the
And see, I even went in knowing that the Killing Joke was kind of like a magnum opus of a story at this point. Like it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It made you hate the Joker more, and also look at different characters, like trying to break Jim Gordon down and stuff like that.
on one bad day.
Yes, it made sense.
He didn't fucking span that shit out. He didn't come on the roller coaster for 67 days. It was one bad day. That's the whole point of one bad day.
Well, these authors,
They should put a little star mark, a little like on right next to the one bad day.
where it's an asterisk.
Yeah, a little asterisk.
It's like maybe, but it's really like years and years and years.
Because that wouldn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. So with Catwoman, we start off where she's saying, like history never stays in the past, basically. And
History repeats itself is what you're trying to say. Just that.
yes, I know, but that is not what the words they used. The literal words that they used was history never stays in the past. They're trying to sound all profound and everything. So she's looking to go to her next heist, basically, is what it starts off as, where there's a book that's open to a brooch from the 1940s, right? It's a little brooch that's made out of, it's like a little bird cage.
Kryptonite or something.
I know, that'd be funny as shit, but no. It's a little brooch where it's like a caged bird, basically.
Oh, okay. I can see that. Yeah.
So
It's like just a little inside the little bird, and the brooches around it.
right. So it's just if I can find it out again, it's just like a little. Just a little
Oh,
brooch.
yeah, okay, I see what you mean.
It's like a bird freed from a
Yeah.
cage, basically. Nothing crazy. So it's got her walking through a protest, which I don't know why.
What are they protesting?
Human rights.
Political corruption? What?
Yeah, human rights, political correctness, all
I
that
can get
kind of
behind
stuff.
that.
Yeah, housing is a human right type thing, like things that don't necessarily need to be brought into a One Bad Day story for this, because literally it has no bearing on the story.
I guess the writer just wants you to know that he's respects human rights, which I mean, you should always respect human rights.
Right. And then keep Gotham affordable and stuff like
I
that.
respect that too.
Yeah, but it's already a hellhole. Nobody wants to live there.
Oh yeah, that should be rent should be cheap as fuck.
Not affordable. It should be free.
Yeah, hell yeah. Come to think of it, yeah, their fucking real estate market should be horrendous because no one wants to live there. Like, why would I live here, motherfucker? The Joker, I saw the Joker 3 times this week. Why would I want to live here? You can't go to the grocery store if Bane throws a fucking fridge to the damn front of the store.
So it basically has Selena walking through this protest, and she's going to try to use this as her way to sneak into this auction, basically.
Okay.
Try to use the distraction of this protest as her, like, get out of jail free card, basically, of getting around everything.
I would just, like, go to some smug-ass, let me think here. I'd probably just blow up a parking lot. Well, like, say you go to a fucking one of those like damn, my brain sometimes fucking seizes up on me. Those car salesmen, right?
Yeah.
They have a whole fucking lot full of cars. Go in there, fill one up with gas, put a little fucking
go real dark here.
you blow up 2 or 3 of them.
You blow up, just a couple of them.
The cops aren't gonna be anywhere else but there, so
Right. But
I guess I would hire someone to do that for me. So you blow up this fucking gas station. Make sure no one's there.
So it's got her walking past a little girl that's hungry, and this somehow triggers a memory for her. So then it goes back, kind of like with the Riddler, where there's
She gonna bend over a fucking desk and get the shit spanked out of her by Red Foreman?
No. Basically, her sister and her mom, along with her, are standing in a pawn shop.
She had a sister?
Yeah. In the story, she does.
Okay.
I don't know if canon she does, but in the story, she does.
All right.
And they're in a pawn shop, and they're trying to sell that brooch.
The brooch, yeah.
Yes. So basically, he's saying, I can't. He looks at it, and he's like, "It's fake."
Like licks the hell out of it. Just don't feel real. This ain't real diamonds. I know the taste of real diamonds.
And he says, it's like, but I can't buy a knockoff for a price of the real thing, because she wants the super high end price. Her mom does.
Right.
And he's like, look, for what it's made out of, because it is made out of a diamond and a couple of other things, so it does have a little bit of value. It's like, you know what? I give you $200 for it. Okay.
That's all they can get. That's all you can get.
And he's like, bitch, take it or leave it. It's kind of like how he says it. He's like, bitch, you need the money.
This ain't Pawn Stars. Get out.
Exactly. We're not going to bring in the appraiser.
Yeah, the appraiser, like, it's actually $8,000. Pawn's like, dang.
And it's got her mom looking to us. I'll take it.
No, it's kind of
It's like,
sad.
oh, sure. Just horrible. And then it's got the bottom picture with Selena Kyle just glaring at her mom for like being depressed and taking the extra money. It's like, but you need a house. So then we cut back to the main story again, where Selena basically tries to incite a little bit of the police to kind of riot a little bit, to where she can sneak down an alley and then change into her like skin tight clothes.
The cat suit.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. So then she's jumping up on top of the building, because there's 2 police officers on top of the building that are actually watching over this auction. And, you got it. It's like, they're still going on down there. Lazy bums. Nobody wants to work anymore. Like, just the most basic bullshit you could ever possibly see in a book like this.
In my generation.
Try to bring too much politics into the stories, because they're having a whole full-blown fucking 1 full page conversation about this shit. It's like, good God, this doesn't even have any bearing on the damn story.
I guess it adds to the world building.
Kind of. A couple panels is fine, though. You don't need a whole fucking page for that. But Selena, she jumps up on top, fucks them both up, and then jumps down into the ventilation shaft. on top of the
He
building.
fucking hits the ground like, in my generation, we never got asked to be by a girl. They say something boomer-esque.
Kind of, yeah.
In my generation, women knew to stay in the kitchen, not kick your ass.
So we have her staking out where this brooch is. So this is the brooch that her mom supposedly sold to this the pawn shop owner in the past is an actual real brooch. Like, she finds out that somehow this brooch is actually real, the one that was actually sold to the pawn shop at that one point, and now she's wanting to try to steal it back.
Okay.
This is years later, so
Decades later.
yeah. So she finds it. So, and then she finally she goes down there and she dresses in her actual like evening.
Damn, they fucking dressed they muscular as fuck. Like, goddamn, girl.
Like, she's not that muscular.
Off as hell.
I know. That's a muscle mommy.
Yeah, sure is.
So she's down there, and this lady, she comes up to her and she's like, exquisite, isn't it? Very unusual setting for a carat brooch of this era. You know, like the whole like backstory of it and stuff. And Selena, she's like, I didn't even see you there because she got snuck up on, basically.
Well, I hate when people sneak up on me.
And it's an old lady. It's always an old lady that sneaks up on you.
To be honest, they're fucking light on their feet. Excuse me. You know where the baby formula is? Like, you're like 93 years old. What you need baby formula for?
She want baby food because that's all she can eat.
So they will sneak up on you like, yeah, your fucking radar never fucking detects them. Maybe because they're harmless.
Yeah.
But like, if it was literally anyone else, I'd have fucking clocked them from like a mile away. But man, they sneak up on you real easy. Grab you by the butthole too, if they could get a chance. Sorry, they're sunny. They're not gonna get in trouble. Go to jail. We'll pat you on the penis, little man. Here you go. Have a good day. Goes up on her fucking little scooter. Granny panties.
So this lady, she tells Selena, she's like, the value isn't in the stones, it's in the meaning of the brooch. And she's like, during World War One.
The next scene, you just see him go through the window because he just got fucking thrown. The meaning, huh? There's a meaning, bitch.
She's like, during World War II, Paris was occupied by the Nazis. They controlled everything, even art and fashion. And then jewelers said jewelers could be jailed or killed if they spoke out, so they found other ways to protest.
You know Coco Chanel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a big brand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is, what's the other one?
Last I checked, Coco Chanel sided with the Nazis.
Tommy Hilfiger.
Tommy Hilfiger?
Yeah.
Do I have their clothes?
Volkswagen.
God dang Nazi supporters.
So she's basically saying that the brooch is trying
to a symbol of freedom or protest.
Right. So it's when France was liberated. It was like a bird set
free from their cage. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm behind that.
So it's a whole 3 pages of them just talking about this shit.
I don't mind exposition,
but yeah,
if it's like, if it feels right.
Yeah.
If you remember, you know me, I watched that movie where that guy's in the car the whole time.
Yeah.
Block. Tom Hardy. He never leaves the car and it's just phone calls.
Yes.
If I can sit through that.
Yeah, that's true.
And be compelled.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's not super drawn out, but it is drawn out a little bit. Like 3 pages is in a comic book.
There's a lot of real estate you be looking up.
It's a full 3 pages of her talking to this lady.
It could be like those old comic books where like there was like a huge bubble on one.
Right.
Remember the just be a fucking huge explanation.
It just takes up half the page.
But goddamn.
So she introduces herself, this old lady does, as Vivian Page, one of the curators of the auction house.
Vivian Page, okay.
Yep. And she's like, I wouldn't be so sure about that. I have a way of running into people I admire. Because you got Selena, she's like, my name's Selena. I doubt we'll ever meet again, though, It's like, oh no, we have ways of meeting each other.
We have our means. Are you on Tinder? Grinder?
So
what's the lesbian one? Scissorer?
Bumble. So you have her.
Is she gonna be like her mentor or something?
No.
Oh,
Don't
it reminds me of when the first Spider-Man game, where Peter's fighting Doc Ock, and he beats Doc Ock, and he's like, "You were everything I wanted to be." I felt so bad for Spider-Man that one time.
The one time,
because he had such high respect for for Otto Octavius, and he was his mentor, and he was his student, and they were studying together. He was learning under him, and like he became a bad guy. And Peter Parker's like, "Oh, you were everything that I wanted to be." So Peter, help me! Like, no,
no.
that May dying in that movie was like, or that show, or the game was like, God damn, 2 for 1, huh? What else are you gonna do to this poor kid?
Well, it is
Sorry, Peter.
It is
Sorry,
Spider-Man.
Peter,
So.
you got AIDS. You got spider AIDS. Spider. Never seen anything like it, son. It's a hell of a thing. Spider AIDS. You been fucking spider, son.
It's almost as bad as Spider's Man.
You got feline tuberculosis, or no, what is it? Feline crabs. How do you fucking cats? And then you go black cat.
It's like,
What?
like whenever she found out that he was a kid.
Oh yeah, the Ultimate Spider-Man.
So, huh?
In the game, she alludes that after their hookup, that she was getting blackmailed, that she was doing all these crimes in the game because of her kid, and she alluded that it was Peter's, and he's like, hey, but all the butt sex doesn't count. And so you find out later in the game that it wasn't actually your kid, but she was using Peter to help her. But like, I guess canonically, he raw dogs, apparently. It was what I'm getting at.
It's what you learned.
I learned too much about Peter Parker's life that day. That boy raw dogs with no consequence. Because that wasn't his kid. I'm Peter Parker, and I always pull out.
That web was a little sticky that day.
That really, like, it changes a lot. Like, people,
when you think about it,
writers, you need to really consider what you're doing, because that pretty much tells us that Peter Raw Dogs, he thought that was his kid, and she alluded that was their kid. So because he never says like that's impossible, because
we use protection,
right? Like he never like even alludes to that, right?
He's like, no, yeah, this is possible.
Oh, shit,
it is possible.
He's like, shit, I got enough on my plate. I got a fucking kid to feed. So they established that he raw dogs. Welcome to storytelling at its finest, when you don't pay attention to details.
Yeah.
The same way that even one of the greatest storytellers, I already forgot his name. I feel bad. The Joker, One Bad Day.
Yeah.
Grant Morrison? Alan Moore?
Was it Alan? Yeah, Alan Moore.
Even he realized afterward, like, he accidentally alluded to her being sexually assaulted by Joker. Was not his meaning.
But it took a life of its own.
He's like, fuck, they're right. It kind of does look like that from the angle. Like, damn it, man.
Yeah.
So you can be careful, because it all has meaning in storytelling.
And now he's like, well, it's Joker. It's Joker.
No, but the Joker's never. He's a bad guy, but he's not a monster. You know what I mean? He would never rape anyone. That's not the Joker's MO at all.
True.
So that it really makes his character look a little bit.
But luckily, at least it wasn't Elseworld. Oh, it used to be in Elseworld, and now it's canon.
The Joker even hates Nazis. He's like, I'm not. I would
Nazis.
He fucking throws him into a
I
vat
wouldn't kill Jews for that reason.
Yeah, I guarantee Joker's not even racist, homophobe. He's not none of those things.
He's an equal opportunity killer.
Deranged.
I'm deranged, but I'm not sick.
You leave those homosexuals alone. And he fucking saws him in half.
Wife's killing a whole bunch. Just not for that reason.
Just because that's the people. I don't see color. Except for red. And he just starts fucking blasting. It's weird how, like, that's like the stopping point, right?
Yeah.
Like, the Joker would never rape, but damn, he would fucking do some horrific stuff. Like,
he won't rape, but he's not a predator, okay?
He's the predator. Although I think in the Arkham Knight movie, not the movie, the show,
right?
Not the show,
the
game. It's alluded to that Jason Todd, while he was being tortured by the Joker, some of the people that he let torture him also assaulted him sexually, but not the Joker.
It's just the other people
that he let other people torture the hell out of him. So Jason Todd was a little bit fucking traumatized.
Yeah,
and I can see why he became Arkham Knight. Did you ever come look for me, Batman? Those are the best stories, when there's a level of relatability, even though it's something that would never happen in real life. Like, there's no fucking Joker. There's no Killer Croc. There's no massive city like Gotham. There's no superhero fighting villains, right? If you can connect it to real life in a certain way, the stories last longer and almost forever.
Yeah.
Because you relate to him. Jason Todd was mad because he thinks that Batman abandoned him, and he had to get back at him. He destroyed the city that he loves. It was the only way he could get back at him.
It's true.
Like, when did you stop looking for me, Batman? Or something like, I never stop looking for you. I'm Batman.
I always looked.
I'm looking right now. I found you.
He just yelled his arms up for a hug.
I found you. It would be fucking hilarious. Jason would be so fucking mad. I found you. Let's go get out.
I knew eventually you'd find me.
One of us got to find somebody.
It's like, I was letting you come to me.
How many Robins did you have before me? Just one. Maybe 2.
3, who knows?
I got a son, by the way. You want to meet him? His name's Damien.
Little killer. Literal.
So I'm trying to like learn how to add relatability to extraordinary stories,
Right.
because it turns out this is what it is. There's the plot, which is the extraordinary stuff, and then underneath the plot is the actual story.
Yes.
And the plot is Spider-Man has to defeat the lizard. The story is the lizard's reasoning for becoming the lizard, and how it was a good noble reason twisted into a bad idea or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's true.
It's a hard fight. I can see why writers. I mean, like, I'll never. I may bash a bad story, right?
Yes.
But like, I understand. Like, I mean, this guy wrote. He's published. You know, he's an author. He's published. He's done more than I have, whether I like it or not. He's there. So I respect their storytelling, but
you can also disagree with the story itself.
I can also, dissect it. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, and you're gonna not like the ending.
I'm assuming I won't.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and continue now. So we have Catwoman. She just talked to this lady, right? So now she also sees Bruce. Well,
Bruce Wayne. Mr. Wayne.
Where he looks at her like,
oh, he's in his Playboy version?
Yeah. Or he's like, bitch, I'd hit that again. She goes into the staff room. She makes a big ass mess through the kitchen and everything.
Have you ever seen, you know Gotham Knights, right?
Yes.
That like derivative of the, I wouldn't say it's derivative of the Arkham series. It's its own universe.
Yes.
Where Batman gets killed and the other 4 have to, I do like how they made Jason Todd a fucking giant to differentiate from him so Nightwing's basically Batman 2.0. Mm-hmm. Jason Todd's a fucking behemoth, a heavy hitter. Tim Drake is the slimmer, weaker, but tech savvy one.
Right.
And then Catwoman's, or Batgirl's Batgirl. They didn't really give her enough distinction.
Right.
From the other 3. And I lost my train of thought. But like what was I saying? Oh yeah, there's a scene where they were getting a little bit suspicious in Gotham that Bruce Wayne might be Batman, so he goes to the fucking Iceberg Lounge and he fucking dances in his underwear at the centerpiece of a big penguin, and then Oswald called like, Mr. Wayne, Oswald or Cobblepot's there, right? And he's like, Mr. Wayne, you need to leave, and Batman's just like, and then he fucking jumps and flips in midair, right? Because he's on the edge, right? And he fucking jumps and turns, so like he yells from his front to his back, and he just starts shaking his ass in Oswald's face. Like, Mr. Wayne, you have to leave. And I'm like, you know damn well that Bruce Wayne was dead cold sober,
yes,
pretending to be drunk, fucking slinging his dick. Fucking Iceberg Lounge, so he could keep his identity a secret.
The lengths he will go to.
And I'm just like, I'm watching this. He's just like, and he fucking spins. And he's like, so he didn't fucking put his hands on his knees and start twerking his ass. Like,
you don't know if he did or not,
Mr. Wayne. Mr. Wayne. Caldwell's like fucking devastated.
I'm starting to get hard.
Mr. Wayne, I'm a wreck right now, but you need to leave. Also funny that Oswald can't do anything to him.
No.
Because he's billionaire Bruce Wayne. He can't beat him up or anything.
No. Like, he can't go missing. He can't.
Mr. Wayne, you need to leave. He's like, the desperation, you need to leave. Mr. Wayne.
It's like he's put all his, like...
Whatever fucking like authority he feels like he has. Like, Mr. Wayne, please.
But there's always that please at the end.
You need to leave.
You got me twerking on the pole.
That shit was fucking hilarious. Because Batman's just fucking getting it up there on the fucking in front of everybody. And just his fucking tiny whiteies.
It's like Bruce will do anything to keep that his secret.
And he's doing this fucking thing with his hand. I'm like, oh my God.
Got Wonder Woman out there in the audience.
It was a funny little segment.
That is hilarious.
So you need to leave.
With desperation.
Probably the best part of the fucking show of the game.
Yeah, that
was that cutscene.
I'll see if I can find that cutscene, throw it in there. Mr. Wayne.
Mr. Wayne. I don't know if it was Oswald or it was his brother. They apparently had a brother in the game.
Oh yeah,
like that ran the pub or the Iceberg Lounge. I can't remember. They had a whole different like universe there.
Mm. I'll see if I can find it though. I'm sure somebody posted it just for the fucking hell of it.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Yeah,
you know somebody did. Somebody really played that on repeat over and over and over. All right, so you have her making a gigantic fucking mess in this auction house. Mm-hmm. She runs through, destroys all this shit in the kitchen just so that way it can create a distraction, and she changes into like a servant uniform.
Okay.
What you would kind of expect from Selena Kyle, right? So then they start having the auction and stuff like that. They bring up different pieces and stuff, and whenever they go bring out that brooch, right, she creates another mess where she's acting like a catering person that's walking into the back room where they actually have the auction stuff waiting to be put out onto the auction floor. Uh-huh. And she acts like she's clumsy. She trips over a table, knocks every fucking thing over. But in that moment, she takes the brooch.
Nice.
So, but they don't realize. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, she's like, I can't believe this. And you got the guy in the back too. He's like, I feel my soul leaving my body. Because all this shit's just destroyed back there.
It's like, my God, what have you done?
Right. So then you have Selena walking off, like where she goes back into the vent again, like a fucking ooze monster, going back into the vent. So then we cut back to the auction, and they open up the box that the brooch is supposed to be in, and obviously it's gone.
Bruce was like, I'll take it for $1 million. It's the box, huh?
Right.
Like, no, it's supposed to be a brooch, sir.
So after that, then you have another panel with Selena where she's sitting up on top of a pharaoh, like gargoyle thing, mm-hmm. like where it's built into a building, but it's a pharaoh. And she's like, hi, baby, welcome back to her prize, basically.
It's like a family heirloom. Why is she so needed so bad?
Right. So that's the whole point, is that they're building it up to be a family heirloom.
Oh.
So she calls her sister, and her sister hangs up on her.
Damn.
Her sister's a checker at a grocery store.
Oh, really? That's not too bad.
It's not horrible. It's the same color too.
Go figure. I wonder which one they went with.
So basically they start arguing over the phone where she's like, Maggie, hi, I wasn't sure you'd answer. And then you got her sister where she's like, that'll be 5718 to the customer. Where she's not even really paying attention. She's still doing her job.
She probably should be picking up the phone anyway.
So it's like a whole entire page of them just saying, can you hear me, basically, over the phone. It's like, yeah, I can hear you. It's literally all it really is.
Huh.
And she tells her, remember that brooch that mom had?
No.
Well, I got it back.
She's like 1 year old at the time?
Right. Well, no, they were older than that, but still.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's like, I don't know about that. All I know is it was worthless whenever we needed it, and needed it to mean something. So that whenever they wanted it to be worth something, it was worth nothing, basically.
So when they needed to like get some food in a house or something?
Right, to pay rent.
Yeah.
It's like, it was only worth $200 then.
Damn.
And she's like, why should I care about it now? How does that help mom now? And you got Selena, she's like,
well, you got me there.
You kind of got me on that one.
Fuck.
So then you have, she takes this brooch to a, like a fence, basically. She's trying to sell it. And you got this fence, he's like, interesting, it's very unique, you know? It's like he hadn't seen this before. But then he says, you know it's fake, right?
Damn.
Like it actually is fake. She gets all super pissed about it. She's like, "That's impossible. The auction house was sure they had they had provenance experts, giant posters." And then he says, "And they were wrong."
Actually, I'd be a little leery, like, oh, but sure, you the fence, who wants to make sure he gets it for a reasonable price.
Right. And he says the setting gives it away. Carrot settings of this era were very specific because he actually knows what he's talking about when it comes to jewelry.
I don't know.
He's like, what you got here is a nice copy, no more than 40 years old, not from 1940.
40 years old.
It's like, please do not shoot the man. Don't shoot the messenger on this one, because he wasn't necessarily going to buy it regardless. He's just saying because she brought it to him because he's an expert. So he's like, it's a fake. She gets super pissed. She's like, fucking fine, whatever.
Maybe $10 for it.
And he's like, people lie about the where they got things. Family history becomes mythology very quickly.
Ain't that a truth?
Very true. And she's like, you're wrong. You're in the wrong line of work, friend. You really should you should have been a therapist. So you got her all kind of pissed, and she's looking at it, and she's like, motherfucker. And then she's thinking, as she thinks about it, she's like, sometimes it comes down to something as small as the setting of a piece of costume jewelry. Wait, the setting. And this triggers something in her mind, right? So then she's thinking what that girl said, what the old lady named Vivian, where she's like, this unusual for a setting of a brooch of this era. Like that triggers something in her mind. She's like, oh shit, that fucking bitch.
Was she traded out?
She thinks the old lady took it.
The real one?
She's like, oh, son of a bitch. So she jumps up on the roof, starts trying to find her and everything. She's like, she's trying anything basically to like get a beat on this old lady, right? So she finds her again, but she's changed her appearance now at this point. Like she doesn't look the way necessarily she did the first time. She walks different. She's wearing glasses now, different kind of clothes. Like
Kaiser Sose?
she's basically says that she's hiding in plain sight at this point. And this old lady, she walks into a grocery store, like the little like bodegas and stuff, and she's like, as much as I kind of hate her guts, I can't help but admire the true master of our craft of thieves, basically.
Thieving, yeah.
Right.
You'd be surprised how much a simple baseball cap will disguise you.
Yeah.
You ever see that famous thing that happened in Spider-Man Far From Home?
Mm-hmm.
Where Peter Parker's leaving the airport in Italy, and this guy in a baseball cap turns around and looks at him for a second, then he turns back, and it turns out that was Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Mysterio was watching him from that far back.
Yep.
And no one noticed until they pointed it out later in like different like social media stuff.
Yep.
Because this one guy himself was saying like baseball, because he was mad that they always hid themselves with a baseball cap, like the Winter Soldier, Black Widow. Like that's what's that gonna do? And like Marvel went out of their way to show that if that's
it does work,
and like you wouldn't even notice it.
Yeah.
And there you go.
So after this, we got where she's like, you know what, this fucking bitch, where she's getting ready to drop down on her.
Damn it, I'm gonna go watch Spider-Man Far From Home just to catch the scene. God dang it.
You just got yourself into, you locked yourself into a whole cycle.
Disney Plus it is tonight. That or Mulan. Make a man out of you. You remember that song?
Yes, I do.
I'm gonna make a man. I can't remember the beat to it. That shit was hilarious. Wait, so he was into her when he thought she was a guy, right?
Yes.
But then when he still married her, or maybe just a personality.
I think it was a personality.
That's what they want you to hope.
Yes.
But like he was into that twink.
Yes.
For sure. Until he found out it was a woman. He's like, oh, damn.
Well, sure. Whatever.
All right.
Fine, whatever. You win some, you lose some.
But you live to fight another day. But let's be clear. He was into her when he thought it was a guy.
Yes, he did. He really did.
And then when she stood up after she got bandaged up, he saw her titties. He's like, damn it.
It's like, there's a little bit of disappointment in there. It's like,
Basically, yeah. Storytelling, I tell you. Be careful with your meanings.
You be very careful. Mostly in today's day and age.
He decided to settle for her because it's ancient China, so I gotta marry her.
It's like, dress up as guy again.
Their bedroom stick must be wild.
So, that's just got me thinking about that now, which is funny. But So we got her getting ready to make a jump on this old lady, right? Then Batman comes out of the shadows.
Not to mention the scene where like she's standing there, right, and all the guys get butt naked and jump into the river.
Yeah.
So she just sees swinging dick the whole like 37 that she's never seen before in her whole life.
Yeah.
So that was when as a kid you're like, I don't understand, and now you're like, oh
yeah.
that's why her face is all fucking scrunched up like that.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck was that?
What the fuck is that?
Just fucking. God damn. Movies are weird sometimes.
So basically you have Bruce telling her there's something wrong with this lady. Like there's something weird about her.
Wait, do they already know each other's identities and everything?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically. Well, I would assume so, yes. Yeah, they do. They definitely do. Whenever you read I don't even know why I was hesitant about that. Yes, they do. They basically have that famous scene of them kissing on the rooftop. All they did is kind of redraw it in a slightly different way, but it's literally the same, like the most iconic scene that you can find on any Google search whenever you look at Batman.
The artist wanted to do his own little homage to it.
Right. So he's like, look, I need to find more evidence on this lady. Give me just a couple more days. Because he's wanting to actually get her thrown in prison. Because she steals a lot of stuff, apparently. At least that's what it turns out.
Batman, you got bigger problem with Joker running around. You don't worry about this old lady.
And he's like, why don't, come on, just let me get a few more days, baby. Come on now.
Let me take care of this.
And she's like, I can't tonight. Okay.
Oh, but baby.
And he's like, please don't, not tonight.
She fucking leaves and you can see he's stiff as a rock. He's sticking out of his suit like, damn, hard as a rock.
Because he's like, if you confront her tonight, she'll only pay for what she did wrong to you, not what she did wrong to everybody else. And he's like,
he's like, why do I care about everyone else? And she fucking jumps off the roof.
Yeah. And she says, your faith in the justice system used to be adorable. Now it's just deeply annoying. And he's like, I don't have any faith in the justice system, but it's the only system that we have. He's like, just a few more days, please.
Please, baby, please.
And she's like, what if I don't feel like waiting? Are you going to stop me? He's like, no.
No, Batman. You cuck.
But he keeps saying she's dangerous. He doesn't say anything past that, though. And she's like, oh.
Is she fucking Clayface? What?
It kind of makes you wonder that. That's what I was wondering going into the story, right? And she's like, oh, you worried about my safety? And he's like, I am. But she still goes after her. She drops down and he takes off.
Please don't go, kitty cat.
So she's like, for me, I prefer the direct approach. So
he just beats the hell out of this old lady.
Well, she drops down and she doesn't go straight for her. She waits for her on her doorstep when she goes into her apartment, and like like a brownstone that they have in New York, where you go through her front door, but then there's multiple like residences in that brownstone, where she's sitting on the stairs waiting for her.
Okay.
And she's like, "Hi there, need some help with those groceries?"
Jumps off the steps and hits her with a Superman punch.
And she's like, so you've been able to track me despite all of my costume changes. Clever. Very clever. The old lady. And she's like, what can I say? I don't like to leave unfinished business. I'm here about the brooch. The one you knew was fake. And she's like, knew? My girl, I made that brooch. She's like, I made that shit, bitch. I knew it was fake.
Personal property.
She put, all I do is help people indulge in what they want. So she cocks back to smack the shit out of her, and the old lady catches her punch.
Yeesh.
She's like, huh? What the fuck? She gets thrown. And she's like, Batman was right. I hate whenever he's right. Because she starts fighting this old lady, and this old lady's whooping her ass.
Damn, that's the worst way to go.
Which makes no sense, though, because you get no backstory of who this bitch is.
Well, from that part, I'm assuming she's fucking not old.
No, she's old.
So she is old?
Yeah, she's old.
That'd be like a makeup or something. She fucking peels it off and it's like a fucking 22-year-old.
And the old lady, while they're fighting and everything, the old lady, she's like, let me ask you something. What changed now that you know the brooch is a fakery or a forgery? And she's like, is it less beautiful, less meaningful? And if the answer is yes, have you asked yourself why? And she starts thinking to herself, she's like, This is not a series of questions I expect from somebody that I had pinned down to the floor at the moment. And then the old lady just like throws her the fuck off of her.
Weird.
Like super strength level shit. Makes her go flying through the air.
To a box.
Yeah. So they start fighting again. And the old lady like headbutts the bitch.
Ouch.
Directly in the face. It's like, I don't know how this old lady's so fucking strong. Like we get no explanation at all, right? So she's laying there on the floor and you got the old lady. She's like, hey, hi, cat person. Can you hear me or do you need a minute? Listen, don't make me an enemy. It doesn't serve either one of us. Not whenever we're on the same side. And she's like, what should I do? And the old lady, far be from me to give advice. After all, I'm just an old lady trying to get by in the slippery world full of strange people in masks. And it's like, that's kind of where that is just left. So then you have Bruce come out and he's like, well, but let me back up a little bit. She looks into the shadows after she got her ass whipped. And she's like, don't even say it. And he's like, but I'm thinking it.
I told you so.
She's like, you were definitely following. He's like, yeah, sorry. It's like, why would you get your ass whooped by an old lady?
Yeah, no kidding. He didn't even step in one time.
One time. And she's like, you couldn't lend me a hand back there whenever it mattered. And he's like,
It reminds me when Omni-Man in Invincible watched Invincible get his ass beat by Battle Beast.
Yes.
And didn't do a damn thing.
Yep.
Which I don't blame him for not doing anything because Battle Beast would have whipped Omni-Man's ass too.
Yes.
But he just stood up there and watched his son get his fucking chest caved in. He got so beat up by Battle Beast. Battle Beast was like, there's no worthy competition here, deuces. And he fucking left. I kid you not. He fucking beat the hell out of him and like, he ain't worth my damn time. And he fucking left. He got paid as a bodyguard.
Yeah.
I don't know where the guy on Earth had the money to pay Battle Beast, one of the, if not the most powerful entity in the entire universe of Invincible,
Yeah.
to work as a bodyguard. But that was your first introduction to Battle Beast.
Yeah.
And he fought a Teen Titan-esque level team, and he fucking defeated them all. And then he just fucking left because the competition was fucking horrendous. So this ain't worth my fucking time, and he fucking just left. I've never seen anything like that. His level of significance in the series did not equate to his introduction. Like, he just got there. He was just standing there. He beat up everybody. He hit fucking Invincible in the fucking direct chest with a fucking hammer. He's like, fucking motherfucking boom. And it's one of those scenes where like you think the hammer's coming down and someone's going to stop it.
Yeah.
Invincible's going to get out of the way or something like that. No, he hits him clean in the fucking chest. Hits him so hard he bounces off the concrete that he's laying on. So that means he made him go further down so he can come back up. And then he fucking left. Like, well, I'm out of here.
I'm good now.
I'm like, God damn, who the fuck is this guy? Like when I first saw him, like, who the fuck is this fucking Lion-O type man? He just fucking caved Invincible's chest in and left.
We got Omni-Man peek around the corner.
And Omni-Man would have had the same fucking treatment because they took Thrag, the leader of the Viltrumites, to beat him, and he beat him. Battle Beast was wounded when he beat him. They still fought for 3 days straight. So he beat a half dead Battle Beast in 3 days, and the match was still close.
Yeah, if he was at full power, there would have been no.
If he had a healing factor like fucking Thrag did, that motherfucker. Well, because Thrag was injured at the time, Battle Beast like, let's make it even. Fucking rips out his own guts. So then they fight for 3 days. Thrag is healing during the fight, and Battle Beast is not, so he fucking died in the fight. And there was still a fucking razor thin close. So when they animate that in Invincible, it's going to be an epic fucking video.
Yeah, they haven't even animated that yet, have they?
Well, there's going to be a few seasons.
Yeah.
There's Robert Kirkman had like 7 seasons of Invincible. I'm like, I'm all for that.
Yeah, it's very popular at least. See, that I know is popular. That makes more sense.
Ever since Omni-Man killed the Guardians of the Globe.
Yeah, very first episode.
Everyone was like, what? What? And everyone was fucking shocked. Like, they never seen that before.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like a traditional superhero show.
Mm-hmm.
And then that fucking scene happened. And then you saw the level of gore that show actually has.
Yes, but everybody thought The Boys is going to be that way too.
It was for a while. Especially the first season. Man. Fucking puts her hands right to his eyeballs. Fucking rips his... Oh. Well, and we move on.
All right, so you have her basically saying, "You couldn't lend me a hand back there." It's like, "Yeah, it looked like you hold your own, mostly." He's like, "That's gonna be a black eye." It's like she says, "Well, it was worth it, honestly."
Batman, because he's like, he's got like a whole fucking heart on the side of his leg.
Just running down his spandex,
Just watching the whole fight. Like, damn, that was some good stuff.
An old lady in her. More for the old lady than her. And he's like, "Come home with me. We can put some steak on that."
Batman, you fucking pervert.
She's like, "Does the steak on the bruise thing actually work?" He's like, "Only if it's expensive steaks."
Kobe steaks.
She's like, "I can't do it. I got to take care of some stuff." He's like, "What?"
Well, but please, baby. He's hard as a rock. Please. I'm begging you.
She's like, "I got to take care of a few things."
Since 43 years.
So we basically end the story with her calling her sister again, trying to reconcile again.
Wait, that's it?
Yes.
Wait, who the fuck is the old lady?
Exactly.
Wait, this is the story's over.
Yes. Story is completely over.
Pages.
I told you you'd be disappointed.
I'm fucking angry. What the fuck?
And the old lady goes by the name Forger. Right.
Okay.
The Forger. Right. So I looked it up. I was, kind of curious. It's like, okay, does this character exist in canon outside of the One Bad Day series?
I'm guessing no.
No.
Okay.
The only Forger that exists is the Forger, which is part of the cosmic entity levels characters. Like there's with the whole New Gods.
Was she a god?
No. That's what I thought too. So I looked it up again. It's like, okay, there's got to be something going on, right? So whenever I looked it up, let's see here. It was in Catwoman, One Bad Day, the Forger is a character named Vivian. She is also a skilled art forger who plays a significant role in the story.
A significant role. She did get her, beat her ass and leave.
Yes. So the character is introduced specifically in the Catwoman One Bad Day storyline. No other appearances.
Wait, what is Catwoman's One Bad Day? I mean, I guess technically that was one bad day. She got her ass beat.
Right.
She found out that the well, I guess. Okay, so that does follow the One Bad Day trope, sort of, because it all happened only. She found out that the shit was forgery. Her sister still hates her. She got her ass beat. That was one bad day. So in the literal terms, so there's one bad. There you go. At least if you follow the rules.
Somewhat.
All that was.
But we also had history on that too, though.
Yeah, that's the only problem.
Like where you have about her mom.
But I guess I mean, even though the One Bad Day Joker, he had like the life before the One Bad Day.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll give it credit. I'll give her the right of leeway there. Like he was dealing with his wife, and then it led up to him his One Bad Day.
But here's the thing. Here's the reviews for it. That's why I don't know who is reading these right here.
Weird, man.
Because I would give this a 3 out of 10.
Well, let me read it. I'll get back to you next week.
Give everybody a review on the regular one.
Lord.
Wasn't great, was it?
What a weird way to end it.
Very weird. Very, very weird. So the review on this, this is from Fandom too, which is even crazier. But it's Catwoman #1. One Bad Day is an emotional, beautiful trip into Selena Kyle's past and present. An impressive dive into Selena Kyle's mind. Where the fuck did you read that is what I want to know.
Damn, her eyes all kinds of fucked up.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, overall, it's like a good, like, first issue of a comic book. But there's, like, so much that's not ended.
Yeah, like, who the fuck is she?
Right. Like,
damn old lady, unless she's fucking Ra's al Ghul's sister.
Right. Like, yeah, what?
That's my sister. Yeah, she's a bitch. Can't stand that fucking hoe.
It's like that whore, I swear. It's like, yeah, I tried to give her the Lazarus pit.
Her name is Ruby al Ghul. I hate her. It's always me. And every time we had fights as a kid, they always sided with her. My parents never, man, fuck that, man. He just goes into a whole fucking traumatic thing. I can't fucking stand it, man.
It's like she was the first fucking Jezebel. The whore of the whores.
Mary Magdalene, man.
Just the horror of the horrors.
Eve. She was worse than Eve. She was Lilith.
But yeah, I don't know, like
What a weird.
it ended so
Especially,
awkward.
especially if her to get so beat up so easily.
And you never learn who the fuck this old lady is. It's like, who the fuck is she?
Ain't no one moving like that 93 years old.
Right? You see how the bitch in that looks?
And she fucking headbutts the hell out of her.
Yes, fucks her up.
I'm guessing Selena's at least in her late 20s, early 30s. And she's like fucking built like a tank. And to see how muscular she was.
I know.
Damn, man, that's wild.
Yeah. Because even if you look up what is the canonical age of, let's see. What do you think the canonical age of Catwoman is?
Mid 20s to mid to early 30s.
Let's see what her actual age is. What is the canonical age of Catwoman? Let's see. Mid to late 20s.
Yeah, I'm never wrong. You know, Batman's only like 35 in Arkham Knight.
He's only what?
35.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Because even in the
Either 35
books,
or 39, something around there.
yeah, but he's not 40.
He's not in his 50s or anything. No. He's not old.
No, because even like every comic book that we have, or
Damn, that's what fucking they need to do. They need to make a Batman Year One game, like the Arkham series, right?
Yeah.
But the very first year he became Batman. I know they tried to do it with Batman Origins,
yeah,
but he was still Batman, like already kind of established.
yeah,
Until like the very first night, so when no one knows who he is, and the villains aren't like used to him, right? And like then you kind of like establish like the
and since he doesn't have all that new tech and stuff too,
he's still like a little more gritty.
yeah,
And like maybe like his suit's not 100% there, so he gets hurt a little bit more.
like where it actually is like a harder game.
Exactly, like a Dark Souls level game.
Just Batman.
Batman version.
He doesn't have all that high tech to be able to see like how you can see the thermal images of them.
Don't take that away from me. I need that. Don't you do that for me.
Everybody uses the thermal images probably constantly.
It was such a powerful tool that in the Arkham Knight they had to add ways of neutralizing it,
Yeah.
which never worked on me because I would catch the person that was new. Like who's got that fucking radar jammer? Or who's jamming my shit?
It's like he's the first one you take out.
First one I fucking eat alive. And so yeah, like I guess they could also like just uncanon Arkham Batman Arkham Origins and make an actual Arkham Origins like legit.
They could.
Like Batman Year One. And
They
like
could.
then you can like have the Riddler, because they tried to do the Riddler's origins and Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
Remember, like he had those fucking info packets instead of actual riddles.
Yeah, I do remember that.
He was fighting all those assassins. You know, Black Mask was established criminal.
Mm-hmm.
Two-Face was not there yet. I can't remember. The Penguin wasn't established, but they were like crime bosses, so that makes sense that they were established. They weren't like they're like persona villains. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the Joker just randomly popped in, dressed up as Black Mask. Surprise! Bane was cooler as a regular guy who was fucking 6'6", benching like 700 pounds
Yeah.
than his Bane version of like the Venom Bane.
The Venom.
He seemed way more lethal and more dangerous as regular, like just like not even enhanced Bane, just Bane.
Yeah.
Like when he ripped Batman out of the fucking elevator in the Arkham Origins and beat his ass.
Yeah.
That was the only boss that beat me in a game. Not even Deathstroke beat me. But
No, actually, the Deathstroke fight wasn't that bad.
no, I just had to get used to like the mechanic, like his combat, like his attacks and defenses.
Because if you were able to counter most of his stuff,
It was
you were good.
game set.
Yeah.
But Bane beat me that first interaction with him.
I remember you telling me about that.
Because man, he kept ramming into me like a fucking bull, like an asshole. The member's like, all right, and he just fucking drops like a rag doll. And then they ruined it when he had to fight his minions too. Hate when they do that.
Yeah.
Like, show the villain be more formidable by fighting by himself instead of having an extra.
Which it was the way that they did with Deathstroke.
It's just him.
You just fought him.
But no. And then instead of having a great rematch against Deathstroke and Arkham Knight,
Mhm.
they had him in that fucking tank.
Yeah.
You never had a one-on-one with him at all.
Yeah.
I hated the Batmobile versions.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I didn't mind it as an extras thing.
Mhm.
I didn't want it to use it. I didn't want it to be the main part of the game.
And they did turn it into a main.
Even the Riddler fucking stuff. That's when you knew it got crazy. Like, when did he have time to make a racetrack for Batman? What the fuck are you talking about?
We'll start the race, Batman.
What do
It's
you
like,
mean?
what?
When did you fucking have time between Arkham City and Arkham Knight to make a racetrack underneath all the? He spent like fucking. There was all these fucking set pieces and stuff that required the Batmobile to beat the Riddler's riddles.
Right.
And I'm like, when did you have time to construct?
It's like,
Like,
okay.
it makes sense if you had like a little trap, like in Arkham City, little like trap, and then like a riddle, or like those little electrical stuff you had to like open the cage to get the riddle.
Yeah.
Like he could do that by himself, but where in the fuck would he be able to make a whole racetrack? You know what I mean? So like, let's put a little bit logical here. Does he have like a fucking construction crew as his minions?
Apparently.
Jesus.
And to set up everything? Nah.
Is that a dog barking?
Yeah.
Okay, it was so like
Kind of intermittent.
automatic.
Yeah.
I didn't see like an organic dog.
Yeah.
That's what it said. You know what I mean? Like, have you heard a dog like like what the fuck?
It's like, what the hell? Yeah.
But now that you hear it, you can hear like it's a dog because he's like in and out.
Yeah.
But if it was
Like a lawnmower.
I'd be like, what the fuck is that dog?
All right. Ready to hear a couple of Reddit stories before we close out the night?
Yes, sir. Before I fucking pass out.
Exactly. These are all today I fucked ups.
Sorry, about all one bad day, huh? We just keep going with one bad day.
Exactly. So this person puts, I've suffered from canker sores most of my life.
Oh, fuck. Those fucking hurt. I haven't had them in a long time.
White, painful mouth sores. Sometimes multiple at once. Sometimes they'd be at the back of my throat or on my uvula.
Really? I always around my gums.
Yeah, usually, yeah. Which is especially painful and made swallowing and breathing difficult. I would have at least one a month, sometimes more. It was rare for me to have zero. I saw so
Jesus, god dang.
I know.
How bad is your fucking dental hygiene?
I know. I saw so many doctors about this. Canker sores are unfortunately caused by a wide array of things, and it's different for each person. Not super well understood by the medical community.
That sucks.
Too much citrus. I had an addiction to orange soda, so that checks out. Too much stress. I raised my siblings while my parents were never home, so that checks out.
Oof.
My favorite medical interaction was an 80-plus-year-old doctor I met at my college who said in his younger years he tried to learn more about them. So he just started prescribing random things to people to see what would actually happen.
You motherfucker using guinea pigs. You sick son of a bitch. What the fuck? That's fucked up.
Steroids had the highest success rate of treating them, so he gave me a prescription and sent me on my way.
God damn.
He's another experiment.
Jesus. Yeah, basically, yeah. Let's see how this works out.
It worked like a charm. Less than 2 days and they were gone. And he had specifically prescribed me extra for the next time.
I got excited until I realized it's one bad day thing. Like it's the day I fucked up.
Yeah,
because he's like, oh yeah, everything worked out. And I'm like, oh, great, good ending to a story.
No.
And then I realized the fucking title of this subreddit.
Yep.
Oh,
I had them really bad. He was my favorite. So I graduate college, move in with my significant other, and the stores start to slowly decrease. I rack my brain trying to figure it out and just resigned myself to having always been stress caused.
that'd be fucked up if constant canker sores.
Right. Well, at one point, my partner catches me chewing my toenails. I'm very flexible and have a lot of nervous habits.
What the fuck did you just say?
Fingernails chewing is one, but toenail chewing is another. They express their disgust, but it's not a deal breaker, and we move on. I do it less because I try to hide it. But eventually...
Wait a minute. What the fuck is going on? This has completely changed from canker sores to fucking... How do you reach your fucking toes?
He's flexible.
Yeah, but goddamn, bro.
But eventually we start getting pedicures together, partially for fun, partially as a way to get me to stop. I won't chew my pretty gel-painted toenails.
Wait, is this a woman or a guy?
It's a guy.
Okay. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter.
I would assume.
I just thought it was a lesbian couple. It's always nice
Could be.
to support LGBTQ
Good
plus. I always forget.
I don't even know the acronym at this point.
I forget to do the whole thing, and I feel bad if I miss out on one. B, T, and F. I don't know. I don't know them all.
BFO.
UFO.
So, and then the canker sores stop completely and they don't return. But I have to know.
Fucking getting them infected with your nasty ass fucking toes.
But I have to know. What was that really the cause? In between pedicures, I go to chewing my toenails for science. Sure enough, I get a canker sore days later. So I've stopped entirely, but I so desperately want to tell other people plagued by this chronic issue that it might be just their fault.
I guarantee they're not fucking biting their toes.
No. And that they'd never volunteer to a doctor or connect on their own. So, and then edit. For those of you who have messaged me privately saying you both get canker sores and chew your toenails, I'm glad this could help someone.
What the fuck? Is this just like a random thing people do?
Apparently.
Jesus Christ.
The comments on this are hilarious. Love y'all. Enjoy another day on the internet. This is 100% true story. And then second edit. I'm a stats nerd, and I think other people are too. At this point, I have around 1,200 comments on this post. Of those, about a dozen or so are people either saying this actually solves it for them, or it explains their kids' issues. I've also had a dozen people message me directly saying this is their exact situation, so let's call it 24 out of 1,200 people that have engaged with this post. This affects 1 in 500 people in the world based on my rough Reddit stats. And that's only the toenail chewers who get sores. Even more have said they nibble but don't get sores.
So it's got to be in your mouth, apparently?
Yeah.
Then he should go back and tell that doctor. That'd be a breakthrough for him.
I know. He's been fucking 60 years.
60 years trying to figure out how to make it.
But why?
Why? I just need to know why.
I've prescribed everything.
Damn near everything.
Viagra included.
A fucking wall of just fucking... goddamn strings and fucking paper.
All right. Next one is, let's see. This person puts, this actually happened on Thursday, but my soul has only just come back to my body. I visited the gynecologist on Thursday for my yearly exam. I see a male gynecologist, and while he's a little awkward, he's a very nice guy, a good doctor, and hasn't given me the quote unquote creepy vibes. Before he came in, I took off everything except for my socks and put on the little gown they gave me. I set it on the bed and then he entered. We make a little bit of talk, small talk, just so we're not in silence. Go through any concerns, anything you need to bring up since last visit, etc. And then it's time for the old peek. I put my legs in the stirrups and he begins his exam. He must be feeling really awkward from the silence because after a minute he says, "Oh, you must have a cat, huh?" I do have a couple of cats, but I hadn't mentioned that to him. My brain short circuits. How can you tell?
Shut it down.
How can you tell that I have cats just from looking at my vagina?
I don't know about cat hair in there. I don't know.
Does it smell like cats down there? So I say, what? Does my vagina smell? He must have interpreted my question as, why does my vagina smell? And he said, I'm not smelling anything right now. Can you describe the smell? My brain goes into overdrive. What the fuck does he mean? Can I describe it? He's the one down there. So I clarify. Can I describe the cat vagina smell? He pauses and sits up straight and just says, what? Huh?
So if I'm a cover vagina as well. My family's in the other room, but okay.
Don't worry. It won't go too far. And so I say, do I smell like cats down there? How could you tell I have cats? His face turns bright red and he points to my foot on the stirrup, or more specifically, the cat socks I am wearing. Had nothing to do.
Well, why would he?
He just asked, do you like cats?
I guess her brain, I mean, like, I understand her point of view. It's like, why would he be asking me that? He's fucking digging deep into my body part. I guess it was just a miscommunication.
Yeah. It's like, okay. Next one is, let's see. This person puts, so this happened yesterday whenever I was taking my daughter to the hospital for a kidney checkup. I've been an amputee for over a decade.
Oh.
So you'd think I have the whole security thing down by now, but apparently my brain just decided to take a vacation. I walk up to the security, toss my keys and phone into the bin on the conveyor, tell my daughter to go first, and then confidently stride like I own the place. Beep. The security guard looks up. Step back and try again.
Just takes 2 to the knee from a fucking billy club.
Weird, but okay. I step back, walk through again. Beep. Now I'm standing there confused as hell while the guard eyes me suspiciously. You got anything in your pocket? I slap my thighs trying to be helpful. Nope. He frowns. Any metal implants? Nope. I say like the dumbass that I am.
What about your leg?
Me and the guard just stare at each other. My daughter stares at me. The lady in line behind stares at me too. Then it finally hits me. Oh, right. I don't have a right leg. I start laughing like an idiot and lift my pant leg, showing off my prosthetic. The security guy shakes his head like he's seen it all. And my daughter just looks at me. Yep, that's my dad.
Huh. You're going to forget you have your... I guess that's how comfortable they are now.
Yeah. You just completely forget about it.
Yeah. Can't wait till like a few years from now when they're like all super like cybernetic. You can kick a tree down. You know what I mean?
Basically, yes.
You can replace both your legs. You can fucking jump over your house.
Just be like that Mario jump.
Yeah, basically, man. Cybernetic's gonna change the game. You know, you replace your biceps with some like synthetic muscle weave, and you fucking bench like 600 pounds, or like no problem. First day.
Basically, yeah.
Replace
Become
all your
a super marine.
replace all your fiber, your all your veins with like actual I don't know, fibers, and like replace your fucking spine with a fucking reinforced titanium, and then fucking bench press. Are you gonna like deadlift like a 6,000 pounds?
Yeah.
I mean, like I can guarantee every fucking general in the world fucking hard as a rock if they can make a super soldier, like a legit super soldier.
Oh, they'd be so happy.
It's like, oh my God, here we go.
They would be so happy.
Like replace their spine with fucking titanium, replace their fucking organs with fucking I don't know.
Coolant. Just anything.
I mean, I'm trying to think like how like we used to have to keep them human. Or like,
so you think.
Or they volunteer to be completely fucking changed into a super soldier. Because we don't have serum like super soldier serum.
No.
Ours would be cybernetic. So they would replace their eyes with fucking cybernetic eyes. They'd fucking replace their or just fucking take their whole fucking brain and just fucking put it into a robot.
I could do that, yeah. That'd make more sense.
That'd be easier.
It'd make a lot more sense, though. Hook them up to Elon Musk's new Neuralink.
But that's what I love about the real world is like everyone has a different idea of how to do something. So sometimes those ideas cross paths.
Mm-hmm.
So like some people want to like replace some of the regular humans' body parts with cybernetics to make them half cyborg. While another person would just take the brain and just put him into a full robot. And now this cyborg fights a full robot with a human brain on the battlefield. Who would win? Who's smarter? It always comes down to who's the smarter one.
Probably the cyborg.
Might still be a grunt. He's still a guy.
I guess the grunt would be able to have extract thinking instead of linear.
And then you got me. All I asked for is a penile extension, and that's all they gave me other than the gun. It's like, soldier, what'd you get? They made my dick bigger. Here's a gun, soldier. Don't run.
Don't run, you might trip.
All I got is my dick and my wits. That's all I need. I can beat anybody on the battlefild.
Just run out of the battlefield naked.
I figure out anything. Get behind that cyborg and hit his power pack. Pa 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 pa.
All right, and last one we got is by Creative Blocking. This person puts
blocking.
So I live alone, and I'm reasonably sure my apartment isn't haunted. But today, my cat decided to test my grip on reality.
Oh.
This morning, I made a sandwich. I put the bread on the counter, turned around to grab my peanut butter, and whenever I turned back, the bread was gone. Vanished. No crumbs, no evidence, just gone. I stood there questioning every decision that led to this moment. Did I ever actually take the bread out? Had I imagined it? Was I, in fact, the bread? Then I heard it. A tiny, smug little thump. I looked over, and there was my cat, Mr. Pickles, sitting in the middle of the living room floor, on top of my sliced bread, just sitting there.
Mr.
Like it was a normal thing to do. Like it hadn't just gaslit me into thinking I needed a brain scan. He made direct eye contact with me, held it, then, ever so slowly, he started kneading the bread.
Just what?
Yeah.
With his paws?
Yep. I took it back. Don't judge me. I'm broke. Made my sandwich. Made my sandwich and went about my day.
Cat hair and shit. God damn.
Cat litter all over.
That, when he said, like, I took it back, he said I'm broke. Like, I'm like, he must be broke.
But don't judge me. I'm broke.
No, man, if you had to take the fucking cat food off the floor, or like the bread off the floor after the cats play with it, then you are poor. You got no choice.
Fast forward to my lunch. I grab a plate, sit down to eat, and my sandwich is missing.
The cat told us.
Guess who's on the table sitting on my sandwich like it's his throne? Mr. Pickles.
So it doesn't even want to eat the sandwich. It wants to fuck with it.
Yes. Guess who now has a cat-shaped imprint on his peanut butter and jelly? Me.
Guess who still had to eat it?
I'm broke.
Oh, God.
I am being dominated by my own cat in my own home by an 8-pounded furball with a superiority complex.
Hot ass on his sandwich. That one, like that little warm spot. When he gets to it, it's a little hotter than the other. Oh, God.
Yes. First comment, Mr. Pickles should gives you a heads up about needing the bread. That's the yeast he should do. That's the yeast he should do.
Very fun pun of words.
It's like, yeah. And then you got another comment where it's my cat stole a chip from me today. We knew he wanted to steal a chip. We were watching him. We said, do not steal a chip, but he's really fast.
Still got a handle on. Like, I still got it.
But that is all the Reddit I got today.
Weird. He still had to eat it, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
With a cat hot printed ass on there. Because he's broke. It's got a little bit of cat litter on there too.
Jesus, fucking cat hair.
It smells a little bit like ammonia.
The part where he sat on is a little brown. I mean, it's fucking asshole. And I still got to eat it.
The cat sprayed it.
But no, you still don't have to eat it. You just let that shit go.
I have to. I'm broke.
Still ramen noodles, man. $1.25.
I mean, shit, they're cheaper than that if you go buy it for a regular.
Exactly. There you go. So you'd be good to go.
4 for $1.
You don't have to eat that fucking sandwich.
He's like, but it sat on the
It
ramen.
makes me seem like he did want to eat that sandwich.
It kind of makes you wonder, huh?
It's like that one guy that made a huge elaborate story about, can you get like an infection from like raw chicken?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
he was saying like he likes to cook buck naked and it fell on his penis.
It's like just admit you fucking shit.
Yeah, like just be honest, bro. You fucking put your dick between those fucking chicken thighs.
It started grinding.
Nasty,
And now you want to know if you can get salmonella?
nasty motherfucker, man. That's not that. I think that's like that's like an actual like horrible, like, did I tell you about like the cow, right? How like this guy was he was like bagging different meat products, and he eventually got to like a cow meat or something, right? But it was cold, so he wanted to warm it up. So he put 2 car batteries, like he tried to connect the car battery to it to see if it'll heat up.
What?
Yeah, it's on 1,000 Ways to Die. And like as he was fucking said cow carcass, he got electrocuted and died. But that was like, a psychologist said that was a telltale sign that this guy was getting close to being a serial killer. Because like, I mean, like, that's disgusting. Who would even consider? There you go. People are fucking crazy. So maybe to let your brain take a step back.
Don't eat the cat sandwich.
There's one thing that you can fuck your pillow if you're desperate enough. But when you start going into like products of like food, like a watermelon is like a hilarious goof. If you saw a guy fucking a pumpkin, you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? But if they started like fucking raw chickens,
yeah,
and pork or stuff like that, and then like that's meat. That's but you would never see that on Pornhub, is what I'm saying. You'd see some fucking pumpkin on Pornhub. That shit's hilarious.
How much you want to bet it exists on there?
I know it does, because they always send me ads.
No. You're always how much you get at
On Halloween.
I meant the raw meat.
Oh no, I hope not.
I guarantee you it's on there.
It can't be. It'd be a bit too far.
I guarantee you.
Ugh.
I can almost like place a huge bet of money on that.
I learned that the ads are algorithms that are things that you like. So do I like people fucking pumpkins?
Apparently.
Huh. Never clicked on food-based pornography. I don't see why.
Well, they think, you like food? You like porn? Let's put
I don't want them together. I hate food play. It's not my forte. That whipped cream stuff, no thanks. But every Halloween, like, here's a guy banging a pumpkin. Fucking knock.
just for you.
on a fucking hail bay, or what's the word? A bale of hay?
Yeah, a bale
Like
of hay.
the fucking round rectangular hay things.
Yeah.
Fucking knocking the hay everywhere. But that's for the horses, bro.
Well, it's getting ready to have a lot of other, it's going to have all his baby stuff all over everywhere.
So I really hope they're not bagging meat on any
I
adult
guarantee you
sites.
they are.
Well, I'm not gonna look for it. So
Guarantee you they are.
I'm not gonna look for it.
You'll look it up later. I know you will.
Hell no. I look for things that I like, not things that'll fucking like 2 girls, 1 cup. Never.
Never.
I still to this day have not seen it. Never will.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Like you remember that Randy Marsh scene where he was in that fucking, he was just typing in the nastiest shit he could.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a certain limit.
Where it just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
Chinese girls just throwing up on each other. I'm like, did Randy chill the fuck out?
What was Japanese throw up porn?
Basically, yeah.
Just horrible.
He and like you fucking, they open the door and like he's just fucking covered in cum.
Going,
And he's like, it was ectoplasm. It was a ghost here, ectoplasm. Like it's on his cheeks, on his fucking shirt, on the walls, on the fucking computer. I'm like, God, he was so backed up.
And Stan's mom was like, "What the fuck? What was it, Randy?"
Ghost. It was ectoplasm. This is all ectoplasm. He tried to. I love how quick he was to explain some bullshit and wholeheartedly believe it.
But anything else to add before we head out tonight?
They do go with the weirdest, like, on the front, she's one type,
Yes.
Catwoman, and on the back, she's the chick from, what is it, Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer.
From Tim Burton's. And on the first, she looks a little more like, she doesn't really look like Zoe Kravitz, because she's got, like, a different, like, facial features,
Mm-hmm.
but she's got the same skin tone. But then on the inside, she's a completely different, I'm like, man, pick a lane.
Yeah.
Jeez. Be like if Batman kept like looking different. Like first he's taller, then he's shorter, then he's got bigger shoulders, then he's got big ass arms, then he's got tiny legs, then he's got muscles. You know what I mean? If
Then he goes. Then he's Mexican. Then he's black. Then he's white. Then like what's the fuck?
like Batman, what's going on? Like I'm everything. I'm the night. And he just fucking disappears.
What is it? Batman's R&R? Were you just going insane?
I don't know. It's just I mean, I guess I'll give it. I'll give it a pass because it's cover art.
Yeah.
So I guess it's all right.
Cover art though.
The artist was like, I wanted
Totally different styles of Catwoman though too.
Yeah.
Even the suit.
Yeah, that too. This was the one for the actual episode, right? The actual comic. This is just Michelle Pfeiffer's.
Yes.
Although it's not as fucking tattered as hers was.
No, and it
Hers was
doesn't
like-
have like the
Like all
stitching.
the patchworks, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more streamlined.
Yeah.
Not to mention the old Batman suit,
Yeah.
the blue one.
Like the 1980s.
Yeah. Then this one's a more modern.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the little weird shoulder thing. So I don't know why he decided it's an interesting choice to have like the armpits. I'm surprised they didn't make him hairy. You know what I mean?
You know what? Since this book was written in 2023, it's very surprising.
Like, because all you see is her armpits and her, like, from the, you know what I mean? So it's a weird choice. Like, why that part of her body to show compared to anything else?
He's got a thing for pits.
Who doesn't? Anyway.
And well, with that, that's how we will end this episode. And we will see you guys on the next one.
You can see I'm drifting away from time because I'm tired, because you can tell I'm rambling.
It's rambling, yes.
I'm over here like, you see the armpits? I'm like for no reason, I just drifted off. Remember that one horrible episode where I was falling asleep?
Yes, I do remember that. we don't need another one.
That was fucking crazy.
Don't even, you listen back to it, it's like, what the fuck is I left every fucking thing in that episode. Didn't even take anything out.
Oh man, I don't know what the fuck I was going on about.
And then what happened is, it's like, what?
What did I say? I talked about lesbians for some reason. That's what woke me up.
Yeah.
So what was I talking about lesbians for?
You hear the word lesbian, you wake up on it.
I just confused myself.
That was after we seen Deadpool.
Yeah, it was right after, and I don't know, I was dead tired for some reason. And then
So if you want to hear some really funny shit, go back and listen to the Deadpool episode that we had.
and then the day after, right? I had eaten that fucking really old chicken wrap. Remember, I had I had thrown up out of my. Remember, I threw up out of my asshole.
Yes.
Like it should just fucking like it just unheaved itself, like someone like ripping a bag open and a bunch of rice falling out. You ever seen those like in the videos? Like
That's very descriptive.
it is. That's exactly what it felt like.
Just everything.
Like I was surprised that it stayed in my asshole till I got there, because like it felt like at any point it was just gonna drop out, because the minute I hit the toilet it just dropped out. I'm like, huh.
At least it didn't come out of your pants.
That's what I was thinking. Like, man, like how quick it came out. I'm surprised I didn't shit myself getting to the bathroom.
Be thankful for that.
And after you left, I slept for like 15 hours. I don't know what the fuck happened that day.
Nobody does.
What a weird day, actually. We saw Deadpool. We went to Walmart, got some stuff, got home. I fell asleep while recording. You left. My cousin called me during the recording to say, let's go see Deadpool. I'm like, I just saw it. Let's go see that weird movie with Nicolas Cage. And then you left, and I fell asleep. I think I'm drifting off again is what I'm rambling. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
We'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Same bad time, same bad channel.